2. There we go. We got there, man. Welcome back to Soul Reaver 2. And once again, last time, we actually managed to knock out a bunch of shit. Managed to take care of a bunch of business. So much business. We got the Light Reaver and the Air Reaver. Not just one major dungeon completed, but 2 major dungeons completed for the price of 1. Can you fucking believe it? We actually have the Soul Reaver, or the Air Reaver, out right now. Okay. We also are surrounded by a bunch of dudes. Oh, when we save the game surrounded by dudes and creatures. Yeah, the Reaver's getting very juiced. I will bonk bonk. Please, maybe. Hold on, I can't really get to you, bro. Whoop. And it's getting kind of awkward. I'm like trying to sidestep around you. Ah. There we go. Is that gonna be enough? Apparently, I lifted an enemy into the air with the Air Reaver. Did I? I mean, I used the sword, like my regular sword. I didn't really use the Air Reaver for it, but sure. Good enough. Good enough, I suppose. But anyway, yeah. So we've knocked out a bunch of cool shit, and we still have more to do. For instance, there's at least one more. Actually, no. Hold on. Can I use this one? Okay, because it kind of looked like the Air Reaver icon. So there's one more, at least one more Reaver flavor for us to find. We've got Dark Reaver, Light Reaver, and Air Reaver. There's at least one more. And I'm guessing the last one, well, at least one of them is going to be red, because we had that one vision of Razio with a red Reaver flavor of some variety. Not Reefer flavor, I'm talking about Reaver. Talking about that stuff where you can yes, I want to do that too. What I really want to do is throw it. Pop. So I do this. Ow. Then you get smacked. No, I don't want to grab this. Ow. Like, I'm trying to get rid of this thing so I can kill him with the regular Soul Reaver. Or the regular, just my cool Reaver, rather. Oop. Ow. Yeah, it's kind of kicking the shit out of me, honestly. Oop. There we go. I kicked him in the foot, and that's what made him vulnerable, apparently. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's at least one more Reaver flavor for us to find, and I suspect at least one of them is going to be red, because we had that one vision near the end of Soul Reaver 1 where we had some kind of mysterious red Reaver, and it was very mysterious and very ominous, and it looked very evil and sinister. So what could that last one be? Could it be fire? Could it be like an evil? Like, of course, when I think red, I think like the fucking Sith saber. Oh my god, camera, please. Think of the Sith red lightsabers, that kind of thing. Take that. Well, hard to say, but yeah, we'll keep our eyes peeled. I think I'm going the wrong way. Oh, yeah, yes, there's a sconce right there. I think we're going the wrong way. Going the wrong way, because we need to go back towards that swamp area. That goes deeper into the canyons, into the mountains. We need to go back into the swamp area, because that is where the time travel, door, that sealed door, awaits. Yeah, so there's the Air Reaver base in the weave that we got. His ass. Just kidding, he moved. That's weird. Why that sword just fly in front of me for no reason, for no good reason. As always, it just goes right over him. Bonk. Yep. So I'll keep that out just because it does give a slight bit of air of light. Kind of like how the light Soul Reaver gives some light off. Deep Rock Galactic. Oh, yeah, the roguelike game, Grim. I do know about it. I hope it's good. I've heard... There's one friend of mine who participated in the playtest for it, because the playtest has been ongoing. One of my buddies was saying in the playtest it was just okay. He said he liked it, but he said it was a little bit boring. Oh my god, camera. He said it was a little bit boring, and that's not like a horrible indictment. I mean, it's not even in early access yet. So there was the playtest that is pre-early access. Try to dodge around you. There we go. And the number of times when I try to dodge around, I just dodge into them. This is clearly before the era of, you know, Dark Souls games where there was no iframes when you would dodge. But anyway, no. So I've heard it's not bad, but I've heard that it's also not amazing. But again, that's just a playtest, and there's still plenty of time for things to get better. I mean, for one thing, again, it's not even in early access yet. So look at this fucking guy. Look at this fucking guy who's stuck. I don't even think I could fight him if I wanted to. Oh, just kidding. I could fight him if I wanted to. Ow. But it's extremely weird. Oh god. This is perhaps the strangest way to fight this guy. Get him stuck in the ceiling. We got there, man. We got there. It was a little bit clunky, but we got there. Let's assume I'm going the right way. But anyway, so no, I hope it's good. I hope it's good. Kraft was playing the playtest. Alex does great work when he's surrounded by dudes. Okay, so maybe this is the wrong way then, because the place that I just came from had a very large open area, just like this one. So I truly don't know if I'm going the right way or not, because all these areas look the same. Because yeah, it was, you went through the well, no, here's what happened. It was, you go through the swamp, and then you encounter the, here, I'm gonna get that. You go through the swamp, and then you encounter the little town area. No, I'm sorry. I keep getting my wires crossed. You go through the mountains. Let me get that guy. All right, so yeah. So what happened is we went through the swamp, and then we went through the mountains, like a mountainous kind of canyon region, like this one. Get a regular kill on this guy because he did a lot of damage to me. So we went through the swamp, which led to a canyon area, and then after the canyons was the town, and then after the town was more canyons. So, and preceding each of those entrances, the entrance and the exit to that little town area, was a very large open area like this. So to be completely honest, I actually really have no idea if I'm going the right way or not, because they both had this like kind of large open basin. They both had this kind of large open basin just before. So admittedly, I'm gonna have to like do some explorificating. Oop. Also, it's so dark here, I legit can't tell like what ground I'm standing on before I fall over. Try to get this guy. There we go. There we go. So anyway, it's a little bit tricky. I'm enjoying the game for sure, but there are aspects of the game that can be a little bit frustrating. And for one thing is, yeah, some of the areas look a little bit samey after a while.
Here it comes.
And on the one hand, you might think to yourself, like, well, you know, if you kill some of the bad guys in one area... Oh my fucking god, look at this dude. If you kill some of the bad guys in one area, and then realize you're going the wrong way, turn back around, trying to jump up to him. If I can actually get to him very well. Maybe I could just I could blast him off, maybe. Yeah, you like kill some of the bad guys, you have a grand old time, and then you realize you've gone the wrong way, so you turn back around, and you try to find an area you've not been to previously. The bad guys will respawn. So yeah, that screwed me over in the past, where I'd be like, oh, here's a place I've never been, because I see there's a bunch of bad guys here. Like, that's a good sign. And then you kind of start go along, and then at some point you go, now wait a goddamn second, I have been here. It's just the dudes are respawning. That does make it tricky to know, like, where you have and have not been before. But if we find ourselves getting towards the swamp, then I know we're in the right neck of the woods, because that's what we're ultimately going for. You get back to the swamp, which I'm not exactly looking forward to, because I didn't really like the swamp area. Much like the canyons, it's dark, so it's really hard to see where you're going. And also the sludgy swamp water stuff is like very slow to walk through, so it's like very awkward doing the platforming. Yeah, I think honestly, wait, hold on. So I know that right now is a dead end. I don't think we can do anything with that. I think that led us to... What did that lead us to? I think that led us to the Fire Reaver temple. So yeah, so I think we are going the wrong way. Oh my god, and I forgot they of course spawn the big scary fellas. Ow. Good news is we have a pretty good weapon to deal with these guys. I'd much rather fight these guys with the sword than with the polearm, even though I really enjoy the polearm. Also, we got Tiny Tim. What's up, bud? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining in. We're playing some Soul Reaver 2. It's my first playthrough, so if you're familiar with this game, you might be able to tell that I'm a little bit lost and a little bit uncertain of where to go next. Well, I know where to go next, I just don't know how to get there. So I'm trying to navigate and also fight these big Big dudes. Get him out of here. Get him out of the... In fact, what I might do is I might switch this thing. There we go. And we do have a map. We do have a map. This thing. The map is not, like, the most usefulest. So we want to get to the time streaming device, which is through the swamp. So it doesn't exactly tell us exactly how to get a certain area, although it does tell us the cardinal directions to follow. It does tell us the directions to follow. Generally, at least. Generally. So, yeah, so it says that we're in the town right now. We're not actually in the town, but we're, like, in the canyons, either after or before the town. So we generally want to go southwest. We generally want to go southwest. So we'll use that as our north star, or our southwest star. Oh, jeez. Oh, God, camera. Yeah, yeah. Fight two of these guys. These guys are really tough to fight, too. I mean, we have... Oh, I was gonna say we have decent health, but turns out I took a lot of damage, and I did not realize it. I think they get damage... I think they get health regeneration, too. So I think if I like, don't focus on one, it will lead to my undoing. He's out. Yep. Nope. No, what'd I do? Yeah. Oh, God. Camera, please. There we go. So I got health back, and I took one hit and took so much goddamn damage. These guys are spicy boys. Got him up against the ropes. Ow. Why do you do so much damage, bro? Why are you so painful? That's so not nice. Yep, that works. These guys hurt, man. They hurt not good. They hurt very not good. So I still want to go southwest, generally. But it's so fucking dark. So fucking dark. I'm like, just, this is either a wall or it's just the abyss, yeah. So, we'll follow this route, see if that's gonna get us where we needed to go. Okay, so we have... I've been here tonight. I don't think we've actually been this way before, tonight at least. We have in the general scheme of things. Oh. I was gonna say, yeah, do you want to fight that guy real quick? Oh my God. Camera, please. Aww. I was hoping they were gonna fight each other. It's a shame that they dislike me so much they will unite to fight against a common foe. Ow. I gotta fight the vampire specifically, because he does, I'm pretty sure, get health regeneration. Or at least they did in the first game. I assume these guys are probably the same. And I'm also assuming these guys are vampires. I don't know for sure, really. The game is yet to tell us, which is a little bit bizarre. The game has usually been pretty good about, like, reacting when something bizarre is discovered or something. Oh, shit. Right, these guys got that range stack. Yeah, I don't like that range stack. Yeah, when something unusual happens, usually they're pretty good about, like, reacting accordingly. Yep. Oop. No, I don't want to dodge towards them. I want to dodge around. Dodging towards is generally a bad idea because there's no iframes in this game. This ain't Dark Souls. There we go. There we go. No, hope you're doing well, Tiny Tim. We got Wolf King. That's my man Brian. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, dude. We're playing Soul Reaver 2 for the first time. We actually beat Soul Reaver 1 just a couple nights ago. And we jumped right into the second game. This is the remastered version, which I'm sure you're probably, if you've played this game before, you've probably already figured out. Probably already noticed this is the remastered version, because the original game didn't quite look quite this good. Although, if I press this button, it actually shows you the original graphics, the original presentation. So, and I think the original even, like, looks pretty alright. I mean, it was a PS2 game. They want to focus this guy, because he's the one I've wounded the most so far. Yep. I feel like they did pretty alright with this game. And again, it's a PS2 game. The first one was a PS1 game, Soul Reaver 1. And Soul Reaver 1, I mean, this is not to throw shade, but it's just how it is. Soul Reaver 1 was not a beautiful game. I think the vibes were immaculate with that game. They did a great job with the presentation. Was it a pretty game? No, it was not. I don't think anybody would dispute that. Whoa! Just say, can I get the kill? Okay, he's dead. Seems like these guys are susceptible to fall damage. So yeah, Soul Reaver 1, I'm not trying to say it looks like garbage or anything, but I'll just say its graphics were not its strong suit, but okay, so this just brought us right back. So god damn it. I'm trying to figure out how to get back to the swamp. Unless I've gone the wrong way from the get-go. Maybe I've gone completely the wrong direction entirely. God. Trying to dodge past you, but I can just keep dodging into him. There we go. I'm trying to do that little sidestep action. Yeah, I'm trying to get back to the swamp, but I don't know how to get there from here because, unfortunately, the map isn't super helpful. And all the areas kind of look the same. Maybe I have to go through the swamp or go through the town, and maybe there's another exit that I missed. Up through this way. Except, no, that's not right, because I remember specifically having to jump up onto these little ramparts when we first got here. So, no, that is definitely not the right way. That's definitely not the right way. According to this map, the overworld map, the area we need to go to is kind of like west by southwest. We kind of want to go down this way. So we're right here. We need to go west by southwest. I was following this route. Yeah, that one, I was kind of following that as my general kind of bellwether. And that's where we came from. So let's try it this way. Let's try that one. Unless this is where I came from. I do see there's a weapon here from a dude I killed. Kind of a coin flip. Well, let's try it, though. Did you ever play these games, Mr. Brian, Mr. Wolf King? If you ever played any of the Legacy of Kain games, I've never played Blood Omen. I've only played this game in Soul Reaver 1. Yeah, we got that remastered edition. Oh, no, this is literally where I just came from. Okay. Okay, so we literally just came here. That I know. Actually, yeah, hold on. Is that a thing we can actually climb up to? I think it is, but I think it's a dead end. Jump up there. Because I remember looking up there once before and being disappointed, but I can't remember what exactly was disappointing about it. There we go. Because it looks important. But yeah, we came up here. I think we even fought some dudes last time. But I think there's nothing, like truly nothing up here. Okay, so that's one we just tried. So I think it's got to be this way then. Die! Die, monster. There we go. Got his ass. There we go. Yeah, you played Soul Reaver 1. Yeah. Or no, you know about it. Yeah, exactly. Remember it being just in general. You remember one. Yeah, I got you. Wolf King. Yeah. Yeah, the boxes back in the day look sick. That's how I was, man. Wolf King, I think you're like me. You were a Nintendo guy back in the day, so you probably like saw the promotional art for Blood Reaver, or for Soul Reaver rather, and you saw the protagonist Raziel. You probably saw the shawl over his face and the cool glowing eyes and the cool hair and just how badass it looked. And if you were like me, you probably saw, ooh, rated M, scary. Maybe not scary, but like, these games look intense. And they are, they are pretty intense. They're very, I'm trying to lock on, there we go. You know, the goth kid energy is very strong with these games. And I don't mean that disparagingly. I'm not trying to sound dismissive. But yeah, this game has like real hot topic energy, and it's really good. It's like, well, it's pretty good. It's a little bit clunky. You've noticed me, no doubt, struggle a little bit from time to time. But I'm overall enjoying myself. Okay, so I'm guessing... Man, I could have sworn this was the wrong direction. But maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't. I could have sworn we definitely came through this water area the first time around. Yep. Let's see, can I just get over past this guy? There we go. Can I smack him in the water? We smacked that one guy in the water. There we go. Yeah, just fucking launch his ass. There we go. I know we came through this water area the first time we came through here. And it's hard to remember for sure. It seems like There's a lot of ways through here. I don't remember like exactly what it looked like when you first approached, but I seem to recall jumping on a platform, kind of like that one there. That one trying to like turn my body. There we go. That one right there. I feel like we jumped on something like that when we first got here. Oh shit. So I don't know. I feel like this is the wrong way, but maybe it's not, because we do have a path leading west, which is encouraging. Bonk. Can I knock you in the water as well? It worked out so well for that last guy. Bonk. I'll just kill you. Just kill you to death. Kill him dead. Yeah, the edgy display, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's no secret, of course, that there were obviously M-rated games back in the day, but there weren't a ton of M-rated, like, action-adventure, like, puzzle platformer kinds of games. You know, a lot of folks, when they thought of 3D puzzle platformers, you think of Legend of Zelda. And I wouldn't quite say that this game is a Zelda-like. I feel like that's maybe a little bit overly simplifying. But you can deny, generally, there's probably generally understanding that there's some overlap with how the Zelda games play and how a game like this kind of plays, kind of, sort of. This fucking brought me back to the whole... Wait, hold on. Is this the... What is this? Is this the puzzle we just completed earlier? I can't remember what that is, but I think that's the wrong way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the win. Okay, so sure enough, this is the wrong way. I'm losing my fucking marbles. I can't remember how to leave this awful place, and there's no fast travel in this game, I don't think. You know what? I'm going to do this. I need to drop my weapon. I'm gonna lose a lot of health, but oh no, I don't want this. Shit, let me drop the weapon. There we go. I wish it was not so easy to pick up stuff you don't mean to pick up. Like this, god damn it. Drop it. No, I want to use the Soul Reaver. I wish there was a different button to pick up weapons. Because no, I want to use the Soul Reaver. No, I want to use the good weapon. For quick kills. There we go. I might end up spending an hour plus just trying to navigate through the mountains so I can find my way out of here. Because there's no fast travel. There's no way... Well, actually, hold on. Let me try some things. Maybe I haven't tried enough things. And yeah, I can't... There's no fast travel here. And I've not seen anything in the map or in the save points. The save point areas that allow for fast travel. So I don't think that's the issue here either. We got Frax in the house who says, when are you going to play some Blood Omen? Maybe eventually. It's a game I would like to play at some point. I think it's a game I would be into. Frax, do you remember how to leave this terrible place? Because I've been, I'm pretty sure this is the wrong way. I'm pretty sure this is back to the Wind Temple area. Like the Air Temple area. I'm, losing my goddamn marbles here. Yeah, the door is sealed, yeah, so I can't go back. Oh, he might actually blast my ass. I'm struggling because we need to get back to the swamp, but this area is kind of a maze, and all the areas look the same. And the bad guys keep respawning. So I can't use that as like a measure for where I've been previously. I'm trying to kind of follow the map, kind of, sort of. Because if I check the map, I know we need to go generally... we need to go generally west by southwest to get to that area. And every time I think I'm going that way, oh my god, I either end up in like a place that I know is the wrong way, or I hit a dead end. This guy's kick the shit out of me. Oh my god. So I'm thinking I just gotta figure it out. I just gotta get good. Kick him in the water. There we go. Get him out of there. So it's a little bit tricky. So I think what we need to do is... I think what I need to do is I need to go back to the... to that town. Because we went through the town, and I thought I went through both of the exits. And they both led to... one led to a dead end, the other one led to... Like, led us here. So what I thought was maybe a dead end, maybe I just need to double check. It's entirely possible that I was incorrect. Ew. So let's get back to that town area. Or maybe there was a third entrance. Maybe there was a third entrance that I'd missed. Or like a third way to navigate through it. Yep, he's out of there. Grab that. Alright, so we're back to here again. And I think it was just follow this path and that leads us to... yeah, I think it was this one over here. Like, go through the town. Gotta make sure we're checking all the places. I'm pretty sure... There we go. Because I think the town was in... Oh, that's hilarious. We keep knocking these dudes around. Can I just knock him down? Yeah, that's fine too. Because I think we came through the town the first time. I think the town connects directly to the swamp. So, yeah, so here's the little archway that leads to it. But what throws me is... This door is closed. Yes, this is what threw me earlier. This door is closed, and I had to jump kind of over these ramparts to get here. I could have sworn that... I could have sworn that this was the path I had to take the first time through. We had to, like, pull this lever. To hold it. You have to hold that lever. Yeah. I thought that's what we did the first time we came through here. That's what throws me. Where it's like, wait, this was... We had to go through here already. To get to this place, which makes me think... I mean, maybe I'm misremembering here, but I seem to recall the swamp would have had to have been before this then. If this is the way we first entered this place, wouldn't that mean the swamp should be before this area, not beyond here? That's what I'm thinking. And if that's the case, so that's where I get turned around. That's where I'm like, no, that's where I'm like doubting myself. Yeah, so because we can pull the lever, we can walk through there. So I think I'm wrong. I think that the swamp is not connected directly through the town. I think there's somewhere else. It's not that, because that's a dead end. And these guys immediately respawn. I should probably just be walking past these guys, because I'm not even trying to mess with them. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I should explore it and just vanquish any doubt. Make sure there's no question that I'm just misremembering. And I'm gonna be very boring, and I'm just gonna walk by all the combatants. I mean, eventually I'll have to fight dudes because you slowly lose health over time in this game. Just by purely existing. There's the save point. So I have to do some combat eventually. Just to kind of keep things moving. Ow. I follow all the way through. Now, I do have to fight these guys here because you have to hold the lever. And these guys will not have any chill while I'm doing that. So this is the wrong place. That's what I'm thinking. My heart tells me that we had to go through here once before. And that if my goal is to get back to the swamp, there we go. That this is not it. Ow. I'm trying to like get closer. There we go. Ow. It's a shame though, like you'll hit them sometimes and you'll knock them back so far you'll knock them out of your range. Because the Soul Reaver blade is fantastic, it does great damage, but the range is not always the bestest. I wish the when your camera was like not directly behind you when you're trying to do a side dodge, which was a little bit easier. Easy to miss input. Have your side dodge turn into a dodge towards them. So yeah, I feel like we need to go back the way we first entered this area. This one here. No, that's the save. I don't need to save. We've already saved. What I will do is that. Ow. Oh, we have a little bit of a flashlight, which does help. Right. So Frax, am I correct in assuming we need to enter out the way we came, which I think was this way? Because this is the one where we had to jump over the battlements and hit that switch and that whole deal. I think that's where we need to exit. So keep an eye out for an empty okay, yeah, so an empty Reaver basin. Yeah, I got you. I'll keep an eye out. Because there is this. That looks to be a dead end. I'm just gonna walk past these guys because I've fought them dozens of times by now. Dog is so fast. Oh, shit. Ow. Let's see. So there's that empty basin right there. That's where we just jumped. I think it's gonna be that one over there. I think that's where we're going. Yes, we're not going to that big guy because that's a dead end. Even though it looks very important. It looks very important and dramatic. We are heading west right now. So keep it looking up. I think it might be something off of that water area. I think it might be something off that water area is where we're ultimately trying to go. But there's like a bunch of kind of exits from that water area, and they all kind of look samesies. So that's where it's tricksy. I think this is the water area here. Right. So it's something around here. Could it be the one dead ahead, maybe? That one's more north, where we want to go south. If I tried that one, let's try this direction over here. The thing is, I don't know if that leads anywhere. I legit can't remember. Oh, is it not the water area? Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Just trying to stand on this guy for a moment. Oop. Can I not make that jump? There we go. That, yeah, I think that might be a dead end. That might be a dead end. And I think we've tried this area. And honestly, that area looks great because it goes southwest. That's where we just came from. Is there anything else? Here, we've tried that too, and I think that's also a dead end. What's tricky is that I don't know why you would want the Dark Reaver specifically in this area. But the idea that you would have to potentially get the Wind Reaver and that basin that's behind me there, use the Wind Reaver on that pedestal on the ground there to float up and get the Dark Reaver. You have to, like, you know, do all these steps to get the Dark Reaver. I don't know what the purpose of that would be, other than, I guess, blinding the eyeball for the entrance to the dungeon. So yeah, so unless I'm wrong here, let's check this way again, because maybe I'm incorrect. I'm just gonna skip past these fools. I can't remember where this leads. This might lead to the Air Reaver dungeon. If you get back to the Reaver, okay, yeah, let's do that. And when you exit the Air Reaver dungeon, or the Forge rather, I guess Forge is the better term. There's a high road you have to exit from. Cool. Thank you, Frax. Thank you. Okay, yeah, this is it. This is it. So there's a bottom road I just took. We're looking for a high road. Oh, I think I see it. Oh wait, no, maybe. Hold on. Is this something you can climb on? Switch to the remastered visuals. Oh my god, I'm getting freaking swarmed. First exit. Look for like a high road, not a low one. In like the water area. I gotcha. So yeah, so I do jump down here. Camera. Whoa. There we go. Let's get back to that water area then. Problem is, I'm sure this is a route I've walked by probably half a dozen times by this point. Ow. I'm sure I've like just blinded past it multiple times because, for one thing, I'm generally not always the best at navigating in games like this, but it's tricky where they all, for me at least, they all kind of blur together. That keeps catching my eye as a thing that might at some point get some kind of interaction. So so that leads back to the dungeon. So we definitely don't want to go there. That leads to the town, I think. Try that one? Okay, let's try that one. See where this one leads. The one with lots of torches. Yeah, this one here. Yeah, because this one's definitely got a lot of torches. I think this one might lead to the town, maybe, but there might be some other route after the, like, before we reach the town. Health back, so I'm going to kill this guy for the juice. Let's try this, and let's keep our eyes peeled for other routes that I've not considered, because, yeah, the downside is because it's so dark, walls that are climbable are not always so obvious. I wonder if this is a stumbling block for other players the first time they play this game. And at least I'm blessed because I've got the remastered visuals, which probably helps some with, like, you know, maybe slightly better lighting. So, you know, my constant bitching about how it's, like, really dark and hard to see, it's probably worse in the original version. Oh, we do need to go to the town, because I just went through there again, and I felt like I didn't see anything else. But yeah, maybe there was some other path that I just couldn't find. I'm keeping my eyes peeled. There's something up... Oh, wait, no. I saw a tree and I got excited. So that's a dead end. Yeah, it's gotta be this way. Gotta be this way. So there probably was another way through the town then. There's another lever. Okay. This town right here. Did the door shut again? It sure did. Yep. Yep. Shame that the dudes keep respawning. At least in the first game, the dudes didn't, like, respawn every 5 seconds. That does become a bit of a slog. Oop. Ow. Yep. Gotta hit this one. Yeah, everything kind of looks the same, yeah. I mean, and that's not necessarily an indictment of this game. That's just how adventure games were back in the day. That's how, you know, show me a 3D action adventure game that suffers from, like, all the areas are kind of dark and smudgy and look kind of samesies, and I'll show you 90% of the catalog from 2001. So I'm not trying to talk shit on this one specifically. It says it was a sign of the times, as they say. I know I have to fight a bunch of these guys eventually. So look for another way out of here. A little alleyway. Could this be it, maybe? This kind of wraps around. I think this is like a little town square, and we're kind of wrapping around that save point. Maybe this way. That's a dead end. There's the save point. Yeah, so it's like there's kind of this, like, little town square. That's where we just came from. Oh, is there a tunnel I missed? Go back. Let's go back. So this is where we first entered. Yeah, that right there. That's where we first entered. So there was a tunnel I missed. We went around the left-hand side first. Something right here. Because that's a save point. No way out of the save point. Feels sacrilegious for the bad guys to be following me into the save room. The lever there. Maybe that's what we need. Can I pull it in time? I might have just enough time. This is the one thing we haven't tried, in all fairness. Yep, can't do it. All these other roads have led to either exits that we don't want or backtracking to where we've already been. So it's the last thing to try. And that's going to be us. So that's the entrance to the... Ow. Ow. No, I want to dodge around him. There we go. So that's the entrance to the swamp. Or the exit, rather, to the swamp. I want to grab the... want to hit the lever, please. There we go. Okay. Nope, nope, nope. Gotta hold it really long. Really long. I really wait for it to lock in place. Okay. So if our calculations are correct, this should lead to the swamp then. Demon. Oh, I think I see what has happened. So when I was saying how I distinctly remember climbing over some battlements to reach a switch, that's because it's the exact same fucking thing. So in both entrances to this place, to this little town area, you have to do the exact same shit for a switch and room and door and lever configuration that is completely identical. That's why I kept bamboozling me, because I kept seeing that and I kept going, nah man, this is how we first got here. That wouldn't be it. Not realizing that there were two distinct versions of that same kind of setup, that same facade, with a basin of bad guys right afterwards. So I think what happened is I saw this and said, no, we just did this. And I think that's why I didn't pursue it all the way. I'm so sick and tired of fighting these dudes over and over again. Run past them. But if we get to the swamp, we know we're on the right path here. Yeah, they all kind of look samesies. Exactly, yeah. I do find it odd that this mountainous canyon would be so close to a swamp area. Ow. So when I think dry mountainous regions, I don't think proximity to a swamp. Where you first came from, probably just make big jump. Just make big jump. Oop. Big jump. If I get up there. Oh, maybe I didn't have to jump down at all, maybe? Get up there. Eh. Probably something else I need. I might just be able to jump from up top. Is there anything in the water, maybe? In the water. Let's climb back up here. Maybe I could just make the jump from up here, actually. Or if there's a route that I missed. Oh, here we go. It looks like it goes up. Here we go. Here we go. And that drops you down. Oh, I see. Okay. This looks much more encouraging. Here we go. I see the transition from browns to greens. That was the empty basin. Okay, yeah. Yeah, man. What a time. Thank you, Frax, for helping me navigate this. There's a very real chance I would have been stuck in there for another hour plus before I finally would have figured it out. I tell myself, I would eventually thought to myself, okay, there's this last switch thing in the town. Let's just try that just because I've tried everything else. I tell myself I would eventually have gotten so fed up I would have tried it. But it would have most likely taken me another, like, at least 35 minutes of losing my goddamn marbles. I appreciate the help and getting that figured out. Health, because I'm getting low on the juice. Y'all remember when the bad guys would fight each other instead of exclusively fighting only me? Pepperidge Farm remembers. It's like they're like trying to get towards something, but they're having a hard time. Okay. Ow, that reached. And I'm trying to dodge past you, not into your attacks like a doofus. There we go. I can't reach. Eh. Get his ass. There we go. Use the Air Reaver. Oh, that's huge. Actually, yeah. So I have it technically being used right now. Like it's, you know, my hand is glowing, so it's technically equipped. I'm not like actively wielding only that one, like as my primary weapon, but it is out right now. Oh, no, I'm wrong. This is the Light Reaver, I think. So I need the Air Reaver when we have the next opportunity to grab it. That is very good to know. Thank you. Thank you, Frax. Yeah, we got the light one right now. Came from that way. Let's climb up here. There's a particular door we're looking for. There's the time streamer door. One that... The big baddie. Well, maybe not the big baddie, but the one that is the question, the lad with questionable intent. Been using. Ow. Still not dead. Still not dead. This guy's got a lot of health. He's very healthy. He's a healthy lad. That's not it, obviously. Looking around, but yeah, to Frax's point that we want to keep our eyes peeled for an opportunity to grab the Fire Reaver, because that would help a whole lot with just navigating through this stuff. All about that. All about that shit. The Dark Reaver, of course. We've already been through here, and in fact, we couldn't even go back here if we wanted to, because it is all locked up. Alright, so we're definitely in the swamp, and we definitely have... to confirm. Yeah, so the Light Reaver's out, and we don't get that ability. We definitely need the Fire Reaver for that convenience. Yeah, navigating through the swamp can be a bit of a boner killer. But the opposite of a boner killer is the Kerberg. That's right, this is a boner creator. What's up, Aaron? Good to see you, buddy. Popping in, man. Happy Friday. Aaron, you'll be proud of me. We showed 2 videos at the start of the stream. We showed the Happy Flat Fuck Friday. So we got Flat Fuck Friday. We also, and of course, we got the obvious one. It's a Friday once again. So we got David Lynch, and we got Flat Fuck Friday. What more do you need in life? It's a good start to the week out, or it's a good start to the weekend rather. We got the thing, but I don't have the right Reaver flavor. I'm gonna be smoking that Reaver. The swamp. It's so gross, I hate it. Oh, this is the wrong one. This is also light. Okay. So we need air. That air stuff. Oh. Ow. Need to get a standard kill against this guy so I can... health back. Oh, right. Yeah, bad guys can jump across the terrain no problem, but if I'm on a platform and they are not, I am unable to move. Like we're on like raised surfaces. Good enough. So I gotta find a Wind Reaver spot somewhere around here. Flatfuck Friday is a classic for sure. Aaron says I got one for you, Alex. I'm excited. I'm excited. If it gets both the Helen and Aaron seal of approval, I know it's gonna be a banger. If it's got the Hell Aaron seal of approval, then I'm ready for a good time. So I'm in the right place. I just have to find a basin that has the Fire Reaver. There's no telling if it's this way. If there's one this way. I think there was one in the town, so if nothing else, if I get desperate, I could just go all the way back to the town again just to grab it. Might be one sooner than that. But if nothing else, that is a guaranteed way. Thing that has what I need. Because that's just the light one. We already have the light one. Jump on this guy, see if that gets us some added visibility. I'm excited. I'm excited. If nothing else, I'll definitely watch it on my own. Here we go. Here's one. I'll definitely watch it on my own. If you got the channel points, we could all watch it together, though. There is that as an option. And confirms just like Frax says, when you have the Fire Reaver equipped, you can move freely through the swamp. What a difference that makes. It's a bummer that we're getting this after only once we're about to be done with the swamp, at least for the time being. There we go. There we go. Thank you again for the assistance, Frax. I'm sure you could tell this area is, I think, maybe a little bit frustrating to newbies, or at least I find myself getting frustrated by it. But your assistance makes it very helpful, so I appreciate the nudges and the assistance. Help me find my way. Very, very helpful, dude. So we have to just ride the wild wind. So I burned my points between that and the microphone friend refreshments. Jump, and then you hold space, but then also right click. Ride that up. Oh shit, right. What I keep getting fucked up by is you have to hold both buttons down, and if you release the wrong one, you'll just drop like a rock. To be honest, I'm frustrated that when you begin the glide maneuver, it lurches you forward automatically. If I press no other buttons, glide maneuver lurches you forward. I wish the glide maneuver just had you just glided in place, because now you have to do this awkward song and dance where you press a second button to halt your moving forward, but it doesn't fully halt it is the thing. It just kind of like dampens it a little bit. We still kind of go forward, and to be honest, I kind of don't love it. Yeah, that's enough. Can I make it? It's a little bit clunky. A little bit clunky. Next area has more light. I mean, I already feel better about this. At least I can see what I'm doing. At least I can tell the difference between a wall and just like the sky or just an ominous void. So this already is, even though it is derelict of color, it has more color than we just were, which I'll take. I'll gladly take it. So do we have the smarts to operate this device by ourselves and just hope it'll work? We probably don't. But we'll see, we'll see.
I had no choice but to act purely on blind faith.
Give the old college try.
There was no way to tell what error this device was tuned to, and I had neither the knowledge nor the means to set the machine myself. I hesitated only briefly. Then, throwing the switch, I hurled myself into oblivion and relinquished my will
YOLO
to the hand of fate.
Hold my beer. Time travel. Just some gambling. I've wondered about that, like, yeah, gambling with channel points. I've wondered about, like, stuff that we could gamble channel points off of, that is. You know, because one thing we could do is when we're starting the stream and we have the Smash Brothers matches going, the NPC matches, we could gamble off of that. The tricky thing is that I typically try to have the matches go fairly quick, so we're cycling through them quickly. But we could have, like, longer matches. We could have longer matches when we're starting up the stream, or maybe just one, just a single long match while we're starting up the stream and have people gamble, like, what channel points, or gamble their channel points for who they think is going to win. The trick, though, is that that's only for the start of the stream, so, you know, that's, that unfortunately excludes folks that pop in a little bit later. Yeah, how long before Japan gets mentioned? Yeah. It happens often. We're heading back to the past. He's gonna take you back to the past. Now, this game does not suck ass, though. This is not the game that sucked ass. This game is good. Although it has its frustrating moments, I like it more than I dislike it. Aaron says, what was that? Japan mentioned. That's the thing. Aaron is fellow Japan guy. Now, this looks encouraging.
Hope and against all probability, it seemed that the device had unerringly delivered me to the era I sought. For these were Sarafan banners, and these vampires apparently the victims of their crusade. The coincidence seemed too convenient to naively ascribe to fate. But whether my opportune arrival had been orchestrated by Mobius or some other influence, I didn't know.
Now the question is,
if Janos Audron still lived, I would find him. But I was wary of further deception and resolved to tread carefully.
so I'm guessing this is a separate, a separate time zone from the one we just from which we just emerged. Well, let me say it the other way. It's a different one from the first one. The first one was, I guess, 30 years. Hold on, what was it? What was it 30 years before? It was 30 years before something. I can't remember what it was 30 years before. But we heard at one point, yeah, it was like 30 years before the events of blank, and I can't remember what it was. The one we just did was way in the future. So is this, once again, 30 years back? Or to that initial time period? Or is this something completely different? If he was saying that, if Raziel was saying Janos Audron might still live, yeah, this might actually be a separate time zone or time era from the very first one. This is before Blood Omen 1, so it's real far back in the past. Well, he did name drop the Seraphim. That's a fair point. He did name drop the Seraphim. So there is that. We could potentially drop down in that little tunnel area and go to that little underground cavern, but I have a sneaking suspicion this might be what we need to go for. Might be the direction. If nothing else, the cutscene did kind of like pan over to this particular door area. So I was thinking maybe that was the game's way of subtly, not so subtly, giving us an indication. Oh, look at that. You even get the swamp striding ability, even if the Soul Reaver is not openly out. Just by having it equipped, by having it staining your weapon, that's enough. be able to walk freely through the swamp water. So that's nice. It's kind of frustrating though because we can go back to the original graphics for a while. The period in which that would have been the most beneficial would have been when it was dark and hard to navigate and a pain in the ass. Now that it's like I can see so much nicer. Just like Frax said, it's not nearly as much of an issue. So we're already, like, things are already easier and a little bit brighter for us. Now the question is, what are the bad guys going to be? Got a save point right over there. Because we know in that second kind of time frame, that second kind of time era, the bad guys were definitely supercharged compared to what we were dealing with in the first time frame, the first era of the game. The first era of the game, the humans we fought were pretty simple, and we didn't really see any vampires, I don't think, at all in the first era. The second era, the vampires were huge and were terrifying. Very hard to fight against, and the humans also were very much enhanced with like better weapons and had a lot more health, did way more damage. So I'm wondering if this third era will also be another step forward in difficulty. We got Zeke over on YouTube. What's up, bud? This is a real man's game. This game is tough. This game is tough, and it is good. I'm liking it more than I'm disliking it. I definitely have my nitpicks. Frax has definitely heard me bitching and moaning a number of times about things that annoy me in this game. But there's the things I like. When Wolf King popped in, we were saying how both of us as kids saw this game. Like, you get a, I don't know, subscription to, say, GamePro magazine or any sort of gaming magazine. You inevitably saw the advertisements for this game, or you saw the box art, and you saw how cool Raziel looked. And of course, Raziel didn't look like this. He looked like this. Like the way he looks in the Remastered edition, the way he looks in-game, was how he looked in the promotional images, and the cutscene looked badass. And honestly, the PS2 version that we're playing right now, or the graphics we're looking at right now, I think it looks pretty good. As a PS2 era game, this doesn't look bad at all. Now it's enhanced with the widescreen. It's also enhanced with 60 frames per second, but still, just in a general sense, this is done okay, actually. But still, a lot of us, yeah, we remember seeing how badass he looked, and the Soul Reaver weapon on his arm looks so cool. And even though I never played it until now, this is my first time playing through the series, it definitely left an impression, and just the overall, like, the eye-catching just vibe of the whole series looks incredible.
Mobius's crusade. This massacre was somehow more chilling. The killing fields of the Sarafan betrayed a kind of orderly ruthlessness, the cold-blooded righteousness of the true believer.
Easily try to go to remastered versions for most of the cutscenes, just because I want to see it all prettified up. I'll be going that way. But anyway, just complete the thought. Yeah, it was a game that, it was a series that all of us, as kids especially, kind of thought, we would see it, we'd go, oh man, like, I bet it's really scary, I bet it's really bloody and gruesome, I bet it's super badass. And, it's really not that gruesome. I mean, there's, these kinds of scenes are a little bit rough. Actually, not much more gruesome in the remastered version. It's really hardly unchanged at all. So it's really not like that, violent necessarily. There's no bad language, there's no nudity. So as an M-rated game, this is actually pretty tame, all things considered. We could climb up that way, but also there's this. I might take a quick look at what's over here if anything grabs my eye, grabs my attention. But that looks encouraging to me. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we have things to pursue here. I'm very curious about this guy right here. No vampire boobs, 0 out of 10. This is the remastered and unmastered visuals. Oh, right. Press the wrong direction. Again. Yeah. There we go. Grabbed a torch. We don't need the torch. I just grabbed it so I'd have a weapon. That way when we fight some kind of fella, some kind of bad guy, I can use it more effectively. Because I want to get like regular kills so I can get the health back. I definitely lost quite a bit of health. Oh, back to the mountains. Here we go.
By all that is holy!
Here at last, in the flesh, I beheld my former brothers in arms, the warrior priests of the Sarafan Order. Their lives devoted solely to the annihilation of the vampire plague. And while I confess, I felt a twinge of longing, a pang of grief for what I had believed was my lost virtue. I regarded them now with none of the reverence I formerly felt.
How's it going, guys?
Seen the human face of the vampires, and now I beheld the monstrousness of these men.
I have to fight them. It'd also be a little bit awkward if I had to fight myself. Presumably, Raziel would have, like... Ow. There'd be some indication. Maybe he'd have his helmet off or something. Ow. 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 Can't seem to dodge this guy.
Free your soul, demon.
Trying to get out of his range.
Free your soul, demon.
Can light his ass on fire. There we go. Now I lost this thing. Can I grab that? There we go. I like to suck. Thank you. Ow.
Return to hell.
It's a shame there's no stab move. Like, this thing has, like, pretty good range. But a stab is, like, yeah, like that stab right there, the one they do. I want what they have. That superior range. Ow.
Return to
Like, this has better range than the sword. Bonk. Bonk. I just keep smacking dudes I do not mean to attack. But if it works... I have to kill this guy. Oh, no, I don't want rat. I want that because I want the health. Sword. Sword, of course, feels a lot more familiar. Get an achievement for using every type of weapon. Oh, so I guess that means that yeah, these are the final weapon types, presumably. That actually might mean we're further along in this game than I thought. I figured we had maybe another one or two more Soul Reaver flavors. Oh my god. Trying to dodge around him. Unfortunately, all this guy's attacks move so laterally. They killed him. Killed him dead. The sword looks badass. It's got the wings and everything. Okay, hang on to this for the time being. We still lost quite a bit of health. Anything else? The bad news is that we might have a lot more canyon traversal stuff to look forward to, which I'm not super excited about. Go up there? Probably not. I'm guessing we have to go this way. Is this the future? No, this is the distant past. This is the distant past. Frax was saying this is actually before the events of Blood Omen. So this is actually even before Soul Reaver. Soul Reaver 1, that is. Yeah, in this reality, we are in this version of the past, we're probably still a Seraphan priest. Raziel is probably still a Seraphan priest. I don't know if we're gonna, like, encounter ourselves. I'm guessing probably not. Yeah, I've hit him a lot, but... There we go. Ow. Whoa. They're doing more attacks that have, like, full lateral reach. Or that are, like, harder to dodge around. More attacks that, like, reach all the way around. Ow. Also very blocky. Lots of blocks. Like I lose a little bit of health, gain a decent bit back, but still, it's like there's a lot to wrangle with here. So that's where we just came from. Our guy might not be born yet. Well, they were talking about how it's the time of the Seraphan priests. Ranged persons. This is a ranged lady. Have we seen like human ranged people? I can't remember. I mean, there was the like rocket launcher folks. Not sure if that really counts. I want to take care of the spellcaster person first. There was the undead version of the dudes that would, oh my god, that would do the they had their like kind of spellcasting thing. They had their ranged attacks. Not sure if they were human versions though. Nope. But anyway, no, I'm pretty sure we were born because when Raziel first saw the Seraphim warrior priests, he made a comment how it's like, oh yeah, these were my brothers. I remember them. Like I remember fighting alongside them, and I like he feels the sadness of no longer being part of them, but also recognizes that there was not altruism in what they were going for. They weren't like as noble as he first thought they were. First thought that they were. Their plight not as like pure and noble. There's complexities that they had not considered. Ow. Grab this. I think that was all the range. Oh, just kidding. There's one more ranged person. Ow. Not particularly. Let's say the ranged lady is not particularly hard to deal with. They're annoying to deal with. Oh, I'm gonna turn around. Oh, there's another one? Another one, yeah. Gotta deal with her first, because if I'm gonna fight these guys, I have to deal with the ranged people, because they're gonna keep chipping away. There we go. Where'd they go? Oh, there they are. I'd like to drop my sword so I can use the cool sword. Camera? There we go.
Free your soul, demon.
Ow, can't reach. Yep. Alright. Keep going. Let's keep going then. Timelines are a little bit wonky. It's a little bit hard to keep track of at times. Anytime you get time travel in games like this, there's the real chance that... Oh, I don't want this. There's the real chance that things get a little bit hard to keep track of at times. No, I want to drop this. Okay, well, I guess it messed. I guess I'll stick with it because I need to get kills to get souls to get my health back. Eh. Nope. Like we still get even with the locket, we still get turned around sometimes. A little bit more easy than I would like to admit. Yeah. Ouch. Alright. This feels correct. Can we just run past the guys? Yes, what I'm trying to do is to like get good against some of these guys, because I know there are situations where we have to fight them. I'm trying to like get good at fighting them, and I think I'm doing all right at them, but they're still pretty spicy. So I'm guessing I've gone the wrong way. Unless... let's just use this thing. Looking for a switch. I might need to explore another direction. Above? There is!
Free your soul, demon.
I'll free yours. How's that sound? This is the more pristine version of the town we saw earlier. We saw this town earlier, but it was the ruined future version. This is the pristine in the past version. I will say fighting these guys still is a lot easier than fighting the giant vampires we had to do in the future we just came from. From when we went back to the future. And I'll also say that, yeah, I appreciate that it's easier to see everything. And it's also like, I feel like the game just looks better. Like, for one thing, I can more appreciate the visuals. Eh. The overall environments just kind of pop a little bit better when you can... we can see past just the dark shadows of everything. Like, it makes the game... It's like easier to sell this, you know? Like, it makes the game sing a little bit better. I think I'm still attacking. There we go. I think I killed him. There we go. Pretty sure he's dead. The camera does get pretty wonky when you get up into close, like really close quarters like that. Which is how, which was the style of the time. Which was the style of the time, don't you know? Bonk. Whoa.
Free your soul, demon.
And big. That's not big. There we go. That works too. And kapow! I missed. He was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Come here, you devil.
How did a spear or a trident, whatever you want to call this thing, fly just past me like that? That was weird. Save point? Hey, might as well. They're not always so plentiful. Memorial Day furniture sales? Oh man, but nothing catches your eye. Is Memorial Day coming up? I mean, I guess we're closer to Memorial Day than I want to admit we are. Heralding the unofficial beginning of summer. You're absolutely right, Aleph. I hadn't even considered it, but you know what? We're getting there, man. We are getting there. Even if I don't want to admit it. That time is ticking forward. Time is dicking forward. Does make sense, but yeah, nothing grabs your eye though. Memorial Day is a good time for shopping for furniture. That's a good furniture shopping time. I've also learned that for those who are like, you know, those who like want to rent out like rooms or something like that, like, because I was talking to someone not too long ago. They were saying how they wanted to rent out their guest room in their house. It was like their kids had moved out or something like that. They were kind of in that place where it's like, well, this room is just kind of taking up space. Like maybe they could rent it out. And they were saying how they wanted to wait a little bit. This conversation happened back in like December or January or something. They were saying how like, well, this is a weird time of the year for that because apparently people generally either are just less likely or don't want to move in cold weather. So like December, January, February, that's like the worst time for like people trying to move or people trying to like people in the business of moving people. So movers or I guess, yeah, landlords, that kind of thing. December and January is like a boring time for that kind of line of work because they were saying how generally speaking that's not as common of a time for people when to move around, which surprised me a little bit because on the one hand it makes sense that the hot time would be like spring would be the big time, because when I think of spring I think of like people graduating from school, college, high school, that kind of thing. But I also think of like people graduating during winter semester as well, or I guess fall semester. But yeah, like graduating, like, you know, because there are people that graduate college at least at the end of the fall semester instead of the spring semester. So, you know, December is when they're graduating. So you would think that there'd be some market for that, but apparently not. So I thought that was interesting. What some people call the UK equivalent to Memorial Day. I'm trying to think what that would be. Do I know what that is? I probably don't know what that is, Farsight. Unless maybe I've heard the term and I just never put two and two together. Can I ask what is that term? Because now you got me curious. Look at this guy wading through the snow. That's actually kind of cute. Can kind of case the joint. We got one spellcaster lady. I wonder if we actually do go up there proper this time. Renting to a random person, yeah. Well, I think the idea is that it maybe not a random person. I think they would probably screen the applicants. I mean, I haven't talked to this person since that conversation, so maybe it was just a passing fancy. I'm not sure if they actually went through with it, but I think their idea was, yeah, they would like solicit either friends or family if there was anybody they knew that was looking for a place, and then they would meet with them, and it's kind of like, yeah, like you're like interviewing them basically. Make sure to be a good fit. Yeah, spring or summer though makes sense. May to August is kind of how it is for New York. Yeah, I imagine that's probably how it is for most folks. And yeah, Memorial Day I know is not the official beginning of summer, but it's kind of like the unofficial one. Yes. Kind of the unofficial start, I suppose. Now. My God, I'm trying to dodge all of his attacks and I've dodged nothing. Shit on. Getting shit on in a way that is not enjoyable. A rarity. I want to get the weapon. That one. There we go. Gonna go for the spellcaster lady. It's frustrating but effective how able they are to run away from you. The range, oh my god, lady. The range of the running attack is very, very minimal. There we go. Dead. Ow. Ow. I want the health. I can take the health. Ow. I might have to just accept that I'm not getting it. Maybe? Nope, can't do it. Yeah, not getting it. Ow. These guys are much more aggressive in some ways. Because, yeah, in the previous zone, the dudes we were fighting there were really tough. But I had an easier time... There we go, I got it. We had an easier time getting kinds of extra pickups. Yeah. I feel like these guys are more aggressive. Be aggressive. From there, I'm pretty sure. I'm curious. I'm most curious about this thing up here. This looks interesting. Called Remembrance Day. And she was mortified by the name. To be honest, I don't find that mortifying. I think it seems like not offensive or not like weird. Ex-military call it November hand. Oh, no. Oh, the last part. The last part is why. Okay. Well, the thing is, I understand the word handicap has, you know, has implications, obviously. But I think it is not only the one that comes to mind for some of us. Like, I think it's not just the one that, oh my god. We'll take a lot of damage. There's other definitions, not just the one that is maybe, you know, perhaps in bad taste or in less than great taste. Got so excited, I thought maybe there'd be something up here. But it is also still a dead end. Yeah, like, forgive my ignorance, but I truly don't know. I've never actually played golf. And actually, funnily enough, I'm going to a driving range with some friends on Sunday. It's Topgolf, if you're familiar with Topgolf. I know it's not something unique only to the Midwest. I think they're all over. We're going to Topgolf with some friends on Sunday. But I've never actually played golf, like real golf, before. My familiarity with golf begins and ends with Super Battle Golf, which we played with our friends a few weeks ago, and Mario Golf. And that is it. So I truly don't know anymore if this is accepted terminology. But do people use the term handicap when describing... Well, you know, I guess I don't know what that means. I've heard people in golf conversations say, or ask each other, hey, what's your handicap? But you know, I guess I don't know what that means. So, I know people ask them that, but I don't know what it means. So, I'm doubly ignorant. But yeah, I wonder if that's, like, still a common topic that comes up amongst golf playing circles. Yeah, golf handicap, right. Because I said Topgolf, you're gonna be disappointed? Wait, what did I say? Because we're going to a driving range. Are there, I think there's, like, other kinds of driving ranges, aren't there? Aren't there other... Sorry, I just saw this cool pedestal, I got excited. I feel like I've seen, like, little indie driving ranges, that kind of thing. Like, I've seen the ones that are more, like, small scale. To be honest, Topgolf is cool. It's very expensive. It's very expensive. We're doing it as a charity thing, and actually the charity thing makes it much more... In a strange twist of fate, the charity thing that we're doing is actually, like, more reasonably priced. But, yeah. I have to take on the spellcaster lady, because if I don't, then they're gonna continue pelting me. I'm guessing maybe there's other driving ranges that are maybe not so good. Maybe is that the implication, Farsight? Get his ass. Yep.
Free your soul,
Ow.
demon.
Ow. Ow. It bums me out how well they're able to track me when I'm dodging. They can still really land those hits very well, even with a pretty well-timed dodge. Like, they track you really, really well with that, which is a bummer. Never had that problem in the past, but I'm really having a problem with it now. Yeah, so it means, like, how much you typically go over par. Right, because that's the thing. I think the phrase par is almost like a misnomer for some of those kinds of situations, because it seems like par is usually pretty low for some of those. So I guess that there's an over-under. I guess you could say you're under par, but that's probably awfully ambitious.
On the threshold of enlightenment. For here was Janos Audron's mountain retreat, intact and unblemished. The upheaval that would one day topple this ancient edifice had not yet occurred. And while I had no certainty that Janos still lived, this scene boded well, for I presumed that the collapse of the retreat must have followed the ancient vampire's demise. There was only one obstacle. How to reach the balcony suspended at that maddening height, so far beyond my reach. For this was the architecture of winged creatures. The tattered ruins of my wings were of no use. I would need to devise some other means into that mountain.
The answer is a catapult. Now, I assume the answer is what we already have, the Fire Reaver, using a pedestal that I think is over there. Maybe it's over there. It's somewhere around here. And this is so much easier to navigate because it's all frozen over. No more awkward swimming controls for us. We can actually, like, navigate this pretty freely. But anyway, yeah, no, Topgolf is cool, but no, I'd be surprised to know if there was, like, other driving range options that were considered uncouth, or considered not good. Because the only other ones I can think of are the ones that don't really have. Oh, I guess I could swim in the water if I wanted to. The ones that don't really have a like a brand affiliation. I think there was even one in my old hometown, back from where I went to high school, that I don't think had any sort of affiliation. I think it was just run by just some dude. Wow, get your ass. Golf is just bad. I mean, I guess maybe that's the thing is, since I've never played golf, and I really have no interest in it, I don't have anything against it. I have no opinions on the matter. I have no opinion. Well, I definitely will say this much. I have no interest in watching golf. I think watching golf is like watching paint dry. But I always assume it's probably a pretty fun game to play, especially, like, you know, if you're like really good at it. Because the driving range thing, it's like, yeah, it's like fun just slapping balls around. Now, granted, when you're playing golf, you're not just slapping balls. You're also trying to, like, slap balls tactically and strategically. So it's not just haha slap ball really hard, which is what driving ranges pretty much amount to. Not fully. I mean, you know, there is tact to it, and there is precision, and there is consistency you want to aim for. But still, you're not, like, ultimately going for a long game. You're just trying to say ball hit, feel good. That's about it. It's a one hit. Look at that. Must have taken damage elsewhere. Ow. Get that timing down better. What I would do to just kick him off the edge, but there's no kick when you already got a weapon out. Ow. Ow. Still reached. There we go. Got his ass. Get rid of that thing and activate this fella. There we go. We're talking about CB2 with slapping balls? I mean, always. But if we were talking about slapping balls to CBT, Farsight would be all about it. He would not be in the against it camp. He'd be in the sign my sweet titties up camp. Sign my sweet cinnamon roll buns right up, please. His phrasing, not mine. Right, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not just a matter of one little pedestal rule them all. I was thinking that there'd be maybe something else that could launch me. Because that thing definitely won't do it. That's not going to be enough. There might be a Dark Reaver application we've not seen so far. Yeah, because Aaron, you've like done actual golf, right? Because Aaron is actually quite good at the driving range. I've seen him. I've seen his ass. Not literally, well maybe, but I've seen him in action at the driving range when we did Top Golf last time. He's very good. He's very good. Razia likes the Dreamcast. Oh, the health bar. Yeah, the health bar. I do love that. Speaking of Dreamcast, let's go back to PS2 graphics. Boop. PS2 graphics, baby. Let's continue sniffing around because there's probably more to this than meets the eye. I'm guessing that we might need that Dark Reaver for something around here. I could check in the water. We could also continue forth, which I think would be probably that direction. Maybe that direction. I think we came from this area just here. In fact, there's a quick way to find out. He says I'm shit at golf. I like it, but I'm awful at it. Yeah. I was saying earlier, like, I've never played it. My experience with golf begins and ends with playing Mario Golf as a video game, playing Super Battle Golf also as a video game, and then doing the driving range with the homies. That is my extent of experience. And all those experiences are fun. Like, I enjoy all those things. But yeah, there's plenty I've yet to experience. So I was saying how we didn't have to deal with the awkward swimming controls in this area, but I think that ended up to be not true. We have to do some swimming. Ice cold, frigid waters. Yeah, Topgolf is very forgiving. And of course, you get the augmented reality game aspect of it. You have like the fun little screens that pop up. So there's like a gamification of it. Because, you know, the driving range without the screens is still, I assume, probably still pretty cool. You know, without the augmented reality. You're still hitting, like, there's this satisfying tactile feel of, I swung metal thing very hard. I hit a ball. A dense little golf ball fell out really good. It made a satisfying thunk noise. That, like, clunk noise is very satisfying. So, like, that on its own is very cool. And there's probably there is rather a satisfying feeling of I hit ball consistently that time, or I hit it in, like, a satisfying arc. Obviously, if you hit it really fucking far, that's probably also really good. I'm not particularly strong, so I can't hit it that far. But I've seen Aaron, he's really good. Looking for anything inside of here, but nothing really jumps out at me. But anyway, yeah, there's all these things about the driving range that is, you know, undeniably very cool. But yeah, the augmented reality screen, oh, we gotta go into spiritual realm, that's why. There we go. The cloaca opens up. The cloaca of the underwater area opens up. And also, I should note that we don't actually have to swim down here. Get the health, but can't reach it. Closer. We don't have to swim in the spiritual realm. The spiritual butthole opens right up. Opens right up for me. Topgolf is fun. The little, like, gamified aspect of it is cool. Fun hanging with the homies. It'll be a charity thing, which I'm excited for. So yeah, it'll be a fun time on Sunday. Yeah, exactly. You know someone's legit when someone shows up with their own like golf gloves or the one glove, I guess just the one. Yeah, when we all got together for Gracie's birthday a couple years ago and we went to Topgolf, Gracie brought one of her friends, Ben, who is also like very good at golf. And it was funny because Ben could tell, I mean anybody can tell, I'm not naturally athletic. I know, shocking, right? I'll pause for dramatic effect, but it's true. I'm not naturally very athletic. And since I had no experience with golf, I'm just, you know, I'm just doing my darndest to like have what seems like a golf stance and swing the golf club and hit the ball. And Ben in 30 seconds was like, Alex, you know, I have a couple of suggestions. One, don't pull back as far. So pull back like pretty far, but not quite as far as you're doing. And also he said like, bend your legs or bend your knees in such a way, like pretend you're about to sit down in a desk chair. Pretend you have like a rolling desk chair and you're like about to sit down into it. Do that knee bending motion slightly. And that was it. He said those two things. And then from there, I was consistently able to hit the ball much better. I was like, damn. In like 30 seconds of instructions, managed to enhance my golf game. Meager as it is, it was still one of those. Whoa. Oh, is there an eyeball fella? There's an eyeball fella. I didn't even notice him. I just saw a pretty artifact and I said, kill. Or just look at it because it's cool. I was like, God damn, is this what it's like? Is this what it's like to have like knowledge of something, of a sport, of a physical skill, and feel it improve? Like feel an improvement of a sport or a physical skill. So yeah, usually more baseball tendencies, which is not always good. I mean, I imagine that the general consensus, I don't know, obviously, but I assume the general consensus is hit ball smartly, but not always strongly. I imagine that's probably a big thing. And of course, in baseball, hit strong. I mean, and also with purpose, but really, really make sure you hit good. Hit real good. Hit ball good. Really, really good. Really, really hard. Whereas with golf, there's of course more precision and more finesse with where the ball lands. It's important for both, but it seems like it's probably more important with baseball. So yeah, to that point, Aaron, I'm guessing you probably played baseball back in the day. If that was more your focus, then it makes perfect sense that, yeah, like, there's that emphasis of, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this fucker. Which is great for the driving range, that's perfect. But maybe not always perfect for other purposes. Can probably make that jump, right? Is he gonna zap me? Can he zap from above? He cannot zap from above. I bet he's really sad. Now, the thing is... Thing back. I'm not sure if we're gonna need it. The answer is probably eventually. And of course, we had to go through the spiritual realm to get here in the first place. So it's not a matter of going all the way back to that one Dark Reaver spot we saw earlier. Because we did see one earlier. Back this way and see what else awaits us. That is all a good time, though. It'll be a fun time on Sunday. Looking forward to chilling with the homies. Expecting a... Oh god, what was it called? What was the... Oh, I think I have to Spirit Realm again, don't I? Spirit Realm again. Strong. It's just a dead end. It feels like a dead end. Oh, it's a cracked wall. I get it. I have to use the air Reaver to break the cracked wall. I forgot that was the thing I could do. Let's go back. You know, in the snowy area. What's the name of the monster that mauls the shit out of Luke in Empire Strikes Back in the beginning? He's on Hoth. He's sniffing around, and he gets got by one of those giant fucking abominable snowman creatures. Is it called a Wampa? Is that what it was called? Maybe. Maybe that's what it was called. I thought Wampas were the little dudes that they rode on. It's called a Wampa? Okay. For some reason, I thought that was the little, like, the bipedal, like, kangaroo-looking fellas that they rode around on. Banthas is what they're called. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you. Before I get my wires crossed. I think in my mind it was like the two syllable word is what threw me. I mean, there could be multiple words with the same number of symbols or syllables. That's illegal. There's no way. Oh, it's okay. Tauntaun. There we go. Tauntaun. Yeah, still two syllables. The theory holds. The two-syllable theory still holds. So my point remains. It's illegal for multiple words to have the same number of syllables. And so that's clearly illegal. Banthas were the... Yes! Yes, you're exactly right, August. You're exactly right. Everything in Star Wars is two syllables. Vader, right? Right? Chewie. Leia, right? It's two syllables. You cannot look me in the penis and tell me there's a word in Star Wars that is not two syllables. You can't do it. Right. Luke. Right? Right? You see what I'm getting at, right? Oh, here we go. Now I can actually access the Dark Fella. So I'm guessing that rock was... I wonder if that rock was always cracked? And I could have been able to have... I could have exposed it from the outside, or maybe it could have only been exposed from the inside, from within. Oh, but who can forget Jizz, man? Who can forget Jizz? The real Star Wars fans are Jizz addicts. Jizz enthusiasts are the real ones, man. Put Jizz back in Star Wars, you cowards. Disney is afraid of Jizz. Disney is anti-Jizz. Disney more like Jizney. Am I right? I don't know if I'm right. I don't know what's right anymore, man. We don't talk about the jizz. I wish we did talk about the jizz, man. I wish we talked about the jizz. If anybody is flummoxed of what the fuck is happening right now, jizz was the official name for the genre of music that the Cantina Band played in episode 4. That is jizz music according to the original biblical definition. The official definition of how that used to go in Star Wars lore when it first came out, the time of the original trilogy. It was called jizz, and then at some point, some fucker, some goddamn snitch told George Lucas to say, you know, there's another word for that, or there's another definition for that word, right? You know that, right? And surely George Lucas was like, well, you see, and he probably did not know. That's my impression of George Lucas. Do a dumb voice and say, well, you see, no, with the reason he has the lightsaber in that scene, and just say a bunch of dumb shit. Anyway, this. Yeah, so someone told George Lucas, they said, you know, George, I got bad news, homie. I got bad news for you, homeboy. And at some point he was like, okay, well, we can't have that. So unfortunately, some fucker had to ruin it. Some snitch had to. Sorry, I had to grab one thing. Some snitch had to force the awkward jizz conversation happen, and we've never been the same since. Society has never recovered from it. The pride removed from Max Rebo, society is worse off because of it, honestly. Jizz from the mouth of Lucas himself. Well, that's the problem. It was extracted from George Lucas. George Lucas didn't create the jizz. He removed the jizz. He extracted it from something else. Through repeated motions of... Okay, that's getting weird. But anyway. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It was a good old... It was a brief moment in time, I think. Brief and pure and beautiful as it was. So now... Bam. What's the deal with this thing? I don't know. I pick it up, and now... Do I scoop the goop? Scoop the goop. And by goop, I mean blood. Who wants the Kool-Aid? Actually, what do you think? Is it Kool-Aid, or is it like a weird soup? Razio shows up at your doorstep with for the potluck. With this very ornate-looking chalice holding what you can only assume is some kind of pleasant soup. Some kind of tomato soup. Actually, it's probably not warm. It's probably cold, because we're in the ice area right now, so it's gazpacho. It's tomato gazpacho. Yeah, Razio shows up at the potluck at your housewarming party with the soup in hand, saying nothing. Saying nothing, but clearly with intent to warm the house party. It's cum? I sure hope not. If this is how the cum looks, you really should see a doctor. Please see a urologist for all of our interests, please. Bloop. Blood. Vampire cum is red. Well, I mean, I would advise they see a urologist, but they'd have to see a vampire urologist. A vampirologist. And I suspect that'd be tricky. I suspect that would be tricky. Because, like, you know, they go to draw blood. And, that's going to be an impossible task. They go to draw blood because, like, the minute they put the needle in, they're going to see the stuff filling up, and they're going to immediately want to have an unrelenting bloodlust. They'll be irresistible. It'll be, like, impossible to resist. There's that. And also, since they got those regenerative capabilities, the minute you stick them in, you stick them to get the blood, it's just going to seal around them anyway. That's no good. So yeah, vampirologist. Seems like just an unfortunate... Really, any sort of vampire doctor seems like an unfortunate career choice.
The mountain's interior was hollow, I discovered, and graced with soaring architecture unique to its creators. As with the outer facade, these balconies and galleries could only be reached by those gifted with flight. With only my ruined wings to carry me, this towering labyrinth seemed impassable, while the object of my quest lay just beyond my grasp.
We gotta go.
Here, suspended at the apex of the chamber, was the threshold that surely led to the great vampire himself. I didn't know whether Janos Audron was the monster depicted in the stronghold, or one of the noble creatures memorialized among the ruins of the ancient vampires. And I didn't care. Demon or angel, he alone held the key to my destiny.
Kind of like when you eat beets. I've actually never heard of that, of eating beets altering the color of various substances of your body. I do know if you eat a lot of asparagus, it'll make your pee smell weird. I almost said it would make your pee taste weird, but come on, I've done the tests. Now, the taste is unaffected. But I know it makes it smell strange. I'm gonna guess we're gonna have to do a lot of air shenanigans here. I'll grab the light one for now, but we're gonna need the air. I'm assuming the Air Reaver quite a bunch here. Suspicious of potlucks. Been inside some nasty ass homes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been to some pleasant ones, housewarming parties, that kind of thing. It just depends. To me, it's more of a measure of how good is food being brought versus how good is the setting of the event. Because you know, it could be a very nice place with some questionable with some house guests that have questionable cooking skills or questionable choice in like places to bring food from, that kind of thing. Augustus says, "I'll fucking do it, man. I'll eat off the ground. I do not give a fuck." A brave soul. As long as it doesn't fall like on a dog turd, he says. I mean, yeah. Everyone's got some kind of standards. There we go. There's one over there we can probably reach eventually. Burger's usually pretty chill. He says, I got food poisoning from a potluck one time. Then it shut down 2 weeks later for health code violations. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Burger King. Right. You got food poisoning from Burger King one time, yeah. Yeah, and that was the one that got shut down. Right, I gotcha. Grab this thing. We need more blood. Here's the blood. Now, I wonder, can I, like, grab it and set it down? Boop. Yes, that's nice. Oh, no, I can't. No, I can't. From curry takeout? Yeah, I've gotten food poisoning from a couple of things over the years. I've told the story, of course, about getting it from a upscale sushi place once. And one from a chain of breakfast-oriented restaurants that is known for its international focus. An international establishment that has a focus on griddle cakes. And I don't want to name names, but I will dance around it. I will do it. Can't quite reach that one from her. Can't quite reach it. Can I just go down and around? Maybe. Beets can make all kinds of things red. I legit did not know that. It's terrifying, he says. I can imagine. I mean, I enjoy beets, but I don't usually eat a lot of them if they're like in a salad or something. So I've never like had a beet heavy dish to my knowledge. Yeah, or else you will panic, go to the ER, and be like, wait, never mind. It's not that deep. You eat them like an apple. Yeah, I guess I've never tried it. I'm missing out, man. I lived a deprived life. Depraved? Deprived? Both? Hot brownies? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know, Aaron, you've told the story, maybe not on stream, but you've told the story to me and the homies in person about your experience with extremely strong pot brownies. I think the idea is I can't do this yet. I'm gonna set this. Actually, can I chuck it? No, I cannot chuck it, but I will set it down. Let's keep exploring elsewhere because I think we have to do more stuff before we can reach that the places where that note needs to go ultimately. Do this. Food poisoning from a shrimp taco? Ooh, man, I'm sorry, man. That sounds so unpleasant. I'm sorry, Meerkat. That sounds awful for you, dude. Just awful. Yeah, food poisoning does not fuck around, man. Food poisoning is the fucking worst. The absolute goddamn worst. Do not use that term lightly. Cool looking door. Probably glide to the side. Ooh, I see what's going on there. We need to kill the dude. I get the guy. Get his ass. I break. Break the glass. Not that simple. Sushi never fucked you up before? Yeah. Yeah, the food poisoning I got from sushi one time, I've told the story before on stream, so I won't tell the whole deal, but it was unpleasant, and it definitely scared me away from sushi for a long time. Even to this day, I'm a little bit apprehensive of it. I definitely won't eat sashimi. I won't eat like the real shit. I can just skip around it. I usually avoid that if I can help it. Actually, if I knock him off the edge, I wonder if that'll fuck things up at all. I really want to knock him off, just to see. Why are you blocking it? There we go. The shield is down there, but the problem is, I don't really have a good way of coming back up from that, unfortunately. And I think if I drop it, it respawns. I'll grab it. Whoa. That was weird. It was like a weird stretched pixel over there. But I understand the idea of when you get food poisoning, it understandably will steer you clear, will make you want to steer clear of whatever it was that was the source of said food poisoning. So I was merely a participant. I understand, Meerkat. I'm sorry, man. That's awful for you, dude. That is an awful time. Most things that occur inside you are the worst. I try my best not to be aware of these things. So respawn, presumably where I wanted it to respawn. Try my best not to overthink it. The Tummy Hurdo Club? Yeah. Intense gastrointestinal, but yeah. And of course, you know, there's all sorts of conditions that can cause those kinds of chronic problems. There's IBS, there's Crohn's disease, you know, there's all sorts of like awful inflammations and irritations that can happen that can really mess shit up, unfortunately. Gas station sushi from Wawa. I've heard of Wawa is incredible. I've heard of Wawa is really, really solid. Never been. We don't really have any near us, but I've heard it's real good. Raw fish is just generally a no. It's a bummer because for what I'm about to say, you might hear it and go, Alex, you fucking asked for it, you idiot. Like, you might hear it and go, no wonder you got food poisoning, you dumbass. So I'm willing to hear it. I'm willing to hear it. But before I say what I'm about to say, I will acknowledge, or I would ask you to acknowledge, it was an upscale sushi restaurant that is no longer around, by the way. This upscale restaurant closed in like 2023. But anyway, just to clear the air, the place, or what gave me the food poisoning, specifically, it was a sushi lunch buffet. It was a sushi lunch buffet. And I know, Alex, what the fuck is wrong with you? A sushi lunch buffet, no fucking wonder you puked your guts out. So two things. Again, it was an upscale sushi place. I thought it was safe. I thought upscale sushi place meant if there was ever a time to go for a sushi lunch buffet, this is the place to do it. And the friend of mine that went with me had no problems. Ate the same stuff I did, zero problems whatsoever. Did I just get unlucky and ate one that was no bueno? Does he just have an iron stomach? Hard to say. But what I do know is I got real bad. Real not good. Real not good. It's not a good time for Alex. And it actually put me in the hospital. It was that bad. It was that bad. I was that dehydrated and that deprived of things from all manner of stuff being expelled from my body. Not a good time. Not a good time for old Alex. Not a good old time. What's up, Corky? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see him. Yeah, lunch buffet sushi. I know. And again, this place has since gone by the wayside. Ooh, I see that. Maybe that's what I should be going for. Can I shoot over that thing? Because in my mind, it's like there's a bunch of stuff I can't quite reach yet. Shit. So I'm trying to look for like other things I can do, because there's the blood chalice I need to resolve, but I can't reach the area to bring the blood chalice. So that's not the solution. Things I want to do but can't quite reach. Can't quite shoot past. Yeah, it's like there's kind of an opening. I can't actually shoot past that opening. Maybe over here. Sushi is to be eaten in moderation. Well, and it's not like I engorged myself on. Like I ate a lunch's worth. It wasn't ridiculous. But it was enough. Whatever I ate, it was enough to really fuck me up real bad. I reach those? It's probably too far away, isn't it? No, actually. I reach all these? I'll be dubious. I'm not sure if that one's actually getting to where it needs. It might like kind of blink out. No, it actually does connect. A lot of these things. I wonder if this is maybe not what I should be. Maybe this is what I'm not supposed to be trying right now. I wonder if I should be spending my time elsewhere. Because I'm guessing there's a time limit before these things start to wink out. So far, it's actually going okay, honestly. Gotta be something else, because nothing new has happened. Unless these glass door thingies have gone down. Have they gone down? What I was looking at was... Yeah, I figured there'd be like a cutscene to tell you when those little glass fellas have gone away. Okay, here it is. Yeah, it's still going. They are still illuminated, so... As far as I can tell, we're still alright. Was it like a served buffet? Or does it sit out? It sat out. Yeah, it sat out on these, like, these little kind of buffet-style platters, and you served yourself. And, you know, presumably, they were refreshing them every so often. I mean, did I see them refreshing them every so often? Yeah, but how frequently? Often enough? Perhaps not. Perhaps not. So, yeah, maybe, you know, the person whose job it was to mind the timers on those guys was not as on top of things that day. Hard to say. Hard to say, but yeah, I acknowledge that in hindsight it was risky, but I really thought upscale sushi place meant it was safe. IBS is just tricky, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have a couple of family members that have, as we've all gotten older, where IBS has become more of a factor. More of a factor to consider. And it doesn't, like, rule every facet of their lives, obviously. But, like, you know, there are flare-ups. There are times where, you know, it's definitely tricky for them. And it's pretty common. I think IBS is a lot more common than any of us want to admit that it is. Just straight to jail, man. Yeah. Wait. Me straight to jail or the restaurant? Probably both. Probably both. I gotta see something in the top right corner there. Oh, that one's all right. That one's all good. I mean, the highlighted part is kind of in the middle there, but I think that is still good to go. I'm gonna ask a dumb question. Do I just shoot this? Or do I charge it up, maybe? I was gonna say, if that just breaks it, I'm gonna laugh. Probably another light thing somewhere I've just not noticed. I have to darken that one, but that's to allow me to pass that spot. I do love the kaiten sushi. Well, the thing about kaiten sushi is, you know, of course, I hope that is more regularly maintained. You know, it's one thing if it sits out and it's easy for it to be overlooked, but when it's rolling on a sushi conveyor belt, presumably the folks behind the, behind the curtains, the folks kind of managing it, are keeping tabs of how many laps it's been around and know when it's past its prime. So I feel less of an issue with kaiten sushi. Hence why I've indulged in kaiten sushi with you, Aaron, a number of times and had no problems and had no reservations about it. So that one is less concerning to me. What gave the impression it was upscale? It was not cheap, I'll give you that much. I mean, sushi on its own generally is not cheap. But it was, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the restaurant itself just seemed upscale. The servers were dressed nicely. The prices were, you know, elevated, as you would expect it to be. It got really good reviews. It got very good reviews. This was not like some hole-in-the-wall place. This was a place that was a mainstay in the town where I used to work. But yeah, but like I said, it did close in 2023. So I would say the signs were there, at least at a general, at a kind of a casual level. But, you know, these things, they can be misleading. Upscale is usually made to order. Well, that's the thing. It was a lunch buffet. I'm pretty sure their dinner menu was more of a typical sushi experience. I don't think they did like a dinner buffet. So it wasn't only a buffet place. But at lunchtime, they offered a buffet. I guess during weekdays, probably. Those are illuminated. That one's illuminated. Yeah, I'm looking at the ones that are shiny. Could you shoot the eyeball? Typically, the eyeballs are only to be used when you have the Dark Reaver. And the eyeballs are there to be what's the word? Kind of a gateway to prevent you from going somewhere. If you get too close to the eyeball, it'll zap you and send you straight to the spirit realm. Which I might need to go next, honestly, because I feel like I'm kind of running out of things to try. So, shooting it with the Light Reaver shouldn't really do anything. I mean, I guess I could still try it, but hasn't done anything in the past, at least. Generally, would want to hit that thing with a Dark Reaver, but that's only when we're getting close and we're trying to pass it. Let's get back up this way, see if there was anything else I might have missed. Might have missed something. Of course, that's just a decorative chandelier, candelabra. Yeah, the conveyor belt sushi place. Yes, that's called Kaiten Sushi. And those are delightful. Those are delightful. I've been to those a couple of times. Let's try spectral form and see if we're missing something. Korean barbecue is pretty good. Korean barbecue is delightful. Absolutely. Not as much spirit world stuff in this game. I think you're exactly right, Aleph. In the first game, there was a lot more spirit realm stuff. Not as much in this game, for sure. And I'm okay with that. To be honest, I don't love the spirit realm stuff in this game. What I do love about it, at least in the first game, is that the spirit realm was, of course, where you get sent if you run out of health in the physical realm. And then it gives you a very convenient way to return back to the physical realm, usually without too much hopping around and too much bullshit. And I thought that was pretty impressive. I thought that was like a nice system. It meant you didn't have a lot of game overs. It meant it wasn't super punishing if you got by a boss battle or by a combat sequence. Which is good, because that game is pretty tough with its combat. As is this game, but that game I think was even more so. Pretty brutal. Can I go through these guys? Go through the little glass fellas? Can't do it. Yeah, it seems like it's pretty samey. Pretty samey around here. See if anything else jumps out at me. Probably just something I have not noticed. It's probably just something I have missed out on. Now, I never tried it. Can I reach this guy on its own? Probably not. I think we need a bridge to this guy. Yeah, we need a bridge for that one. Probably not that. So I might just have to go back to the physical realm and keep on keeping on, man. Then jumps out at me. Open up this spot here. We ultimately need to bring the blood here. But the thing that blocks us from delivering said blood is this guy right here. This guy right here is body blocking us. So I need to open that up somehow. And the answer clearly is Light Reaver stuff. Probably is just some other thing I've missed out on. Oh, come on, man. Don't just be hogging that thing. Just camping the conduit, bro. Back to this guy. Grab the Light Reaver once again. Bloop. Like, let's go back to that spot. Maybe there is something that'll become more obvious when I'm closer to the thing. That one looks like it's illuminated, so we're good there. Seems like these things usually place such that when you're close to the obstacle, the solution is sometimes closer to it. I shoot that guy. I knew there, yeah, he's just there to deter you from getting too close. Bloop. Maybe something else. I think I see that one. No, what's like? There's like a vibration. Oh, Oh, it needs the wind energy. Oh, but we can't actually reach that one. That's why it's shaking. We can't. So that needs the wind energy, but we need. Yeah, there's the means of getting the wind reaver, the air reaver. But to get that, we need this to be filled with blood, and to get that, yeah, it's kind of an order of operations needs to happen before we can make that magic happen. The one there, kind of peeking over the side. I've already gotten that one. Saw something hanging like just over that bridge. Go to the other side. Thought I saw something. The eyeball fella. We need the air reaver for that one. Exactly. Exactly. This is a tricky one. If this is, I mean, there's a very real chance this is either the last one or maybe one of the last dungeons in the game. So it makes sense that they would up the ante. And by ante, I mean the difficulty. Just to say, 15-minute timer the game does not tell you about. Well, I mean, these two were the first one I illuminated, and they still seem to be okay. Yeah, there's something up there. Maybe it's like on the bridge. Go back to this entrance. I see like something peeking out over the top there. Over the ridge. Okay, no, I think that's something else. That one's still good. Unless it's like an order, because it flashes like that. But the thing is, they stay illuminated. It'd be one thing if they didn't stay illuminated. Rex, would you like a suggestion? What I think I might ask Frax is it a matter of lighting up all of the illuminatable gems in the area with the light reavers? Is that what we're looking to do here? Because that's what I'm assuming we need to do. Hit both things at the same time? Oh. Well, damn, that definitely did not occur to me. Same time. So, like, does it go through? Oh, I see it. It does go through. I never realized that. It keeps going after it hits the gem. I never knew that. That is a very... I don't know if I would have ever figured that out. I don't know if I would have ever figured that out. So, well, actually, I'm gonna hit it with a not charged up version. Can it just go through? I'll be a motherfucker. Frax, you're a goddamn genius. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, no balls. That might have taken me hours to figure it out on my own. It never once occurred to me that it goes through the gems. I thought it hit the gem and just stopped. Because 99 times out of 100, when we've seen those things in the past, they've been on a door or on a wall where there's nothing behind it. The air reaver breaks the walls. Well, eventually. Eventually we need the air reaver to break. I saw it just a moment ago. There's a breakable wall that requires the air reaver. I've seen it. But they have to be like there has to be like a certain, there we go, that one right there. You see it's got like a cracked kind of spiderweb kind of pattern in the middle there. So that means it's a cracked breakable wall. Thank you, Frax. That's very helpful. That was I'm glad you pointed that out to me, and I'm glad that we are aware of that mechanic now. Man, oh man, I would have I mean, I was already struggling. I would have continued to struggle had you not pointed that out to me. That was a deal maker, a deal enabler. Huge. Huge, big McLarge huge. So now, look at all of these things that it is now enabled. We can spread the Kool-Aid. Spread the strawberry Kool-Aid. Now, did it do both directions or just the one? I'm hoping it did both. Both? Hey, there we go. When Elgaso was saying he likes Burger King, by the way, I'm still when I think about Kool-Aid, I think about the tomato gazpacho thing, and then I think about the potluck thing, and then that makes me think about how we went from talking about potlucks to talking about things that gave us food poisoning. Oh, well, that's awfully convenient. This one blood pool has given us all kinds of things. But Elgaso was saying, like, man, I'm so fearless when it comes to food poisoning and, like, bad things happening. I'll even eat Burger King, motherfucker. And, you know, I'll admit, I've heard a lot of people talking about how, like, Burger King is, like, the worst fast food. Out of all the fast food chains out there, Burger King is the one that gets shit on the most. And I'm not going to say it's not necessarily undeserved, but what I'll say is I've never had any problems with it. Now, granted, I don't eat fast food hardly at all anymore. I can count on one hand the number of times I've eaten fast food over the past couple of years, and I'm better off for it. Notwithstanding the Sonic Cafe that we've been to. The Sonic Cafe is, by many definitions, fast food, yes. I will acknowledge that's technically fast food, and they maybe slightly less than standard definition. I'm going to activate this for quick shortcut return options. No, and I think fast food, I think, you know, McDonald's, that kind of thing. I don't know if fast casual quite counts. I guess you could say that counts. And if we're enabling fast casual as being part of the conversation, then obviously I've had it, you know, quite a bit more than just traditional fast food drive-through, that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you that as a younger man, when I wore a younger man's clothes, yeah, I loved Burger King. That was like one of my go-tos. The spicy chicken sandwich, incredible. Though, like the cheapo one, the cheapo spicy chicken sandwich. That was like a regular staple of my college diet, especially like the 20 minutes it took me. Well, not the 20 minutes it took me. The 20 minutes I was allotted to get from class to work meant I had to pick up something real quick. You know, you're in class for 8+ hours, and you're about to go to work for like 5 or 6 hours, like the closing shift. Meant that, you know, I could bring my lunch. I could try to do what I could, but I could only carry so much food with me. And I lived like a half an hour away, so like, you know, there was just no time to return home to like get food. So yeah, I being a poor, struggling college student on a college student budget meant that, yeah, fast food was unfortunately a more regular. Oh, there he is. There's the fella got my ass. Was a more regular part of my diet than I want to admit that it was. But through all that, yes, it meant that I, of course, had to rely on certain like food chains and certain more easily acquirable food solutions. And yeah, that was one of my favorites, was the spicy chicken sandwich on the dollar menu, or at least the value menu. At the time, it was like $1.19 or $1.29 for one of them, but still, you get 2 of those bad boys, you're set for a while. That was one of my favorites. One of my faves. Got this game. We're gonna take the long way because I don't need the wind fellas specifically to get where we're going. Have to use the light one to light the way, and to specifically light the gems in a certain order, or light the gems together. That is. I mean, no, I love the spicy chicken sandwich. It's the standard one that's on the cheapo menu. I like the whatever. I guess I haven't had them in a while. They used to have like really good, like, I think they were called chicken fries. They were like really slender chicken strips. I love those things. I've actually never had a Whopper is the thing. I've never had a Whopper. I don't really do fast food burgers. Working at fast food has informed that I am hopefully not a snob, but definitely I have a limited amount of enjoyment that can be gleaned from fast food burgers. I'm not trying to say that if you enjoy fast food burgers, you're wrong. I'm just saying that for me, it is something I really struggle enjoying. Really struggle with, that is. Hit both. I think it can, like, pass through both. I have to, like, aim downwards for it, maybe. It's like I need a little bit higher ground. I'm gonna keep on trying until I reach the higher ground. I can just draw you to me. I'm a little... What's wrong? Come a little closer. Chicken parm sandwich was fantastic. Ooh, that sounds nice. I would understand people being dubious of a chicken parm sandwich at a fast food place. I gotta bring the blood over to there so I can use the dark saber, the dark reaver, so I can get through there. That's clearly the answer. Gotta bring the blood. But to get the blood, I need to break those things. Do I shoot it from here, maybe? Ooh, shoot it from here. Just shoot it, folks. That's the key. There we go. There we go. The burgers are pretty good, though. It's weird because usually when it comes to conversations about Burger King, usually it specifically involves conversations about the Whopper and about how, like, it makes people sick. It's such a common thread that I've heard over the years. I mean, I'm sure not literally everybody has gotten sick from a Whopper before, but it's such a strangely common story. It makes me wonder if there's, like, if there's something to it. I mean, maybe it speaks to the ubiquity of Burger King. When I think of ubiquitous fast food chains, I of course think McDonald's. Burger King will always be playing second, maybe even third, or I don't know, fourth or fifth fiddle to McDonald's. Obviously, they'll always be king as far as I'm concerned, but, well, maybe not as far as me specifically, just as far as the numbers are concerned. The reality of the economics. Oh, wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? Go around. Burgers in general. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, Burger King, not the bestest necessarily. I thought you meant like your favorite fast food burger. Does anybody have opinions on what their favorite fast food burger is? And that's the thing, it has to be fast food burger. Because if your answer is like, oh hey, there's a good like sit-down restaurant, or like, does In-N-Out count as fast food? Does Five Guys count as fast food? I count those as fast casual. What do you guys think? Should that count as fast food? Because when I think fast food, I don't think Burger King and McDonald's versus Five Guys. I don't think that's a fair fight. I don't think that's a fair comparison. Take that one, though. Take that one right there. Go for the homemade ones. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Homemade and or fast casual kinda is always going to be king, without really any question. In-N-Out is good. Yeah. At least for the fast casual. Slim Chickens? Slim Chickens. I don't know if I know that one, but I like what you just said, though. Korean barbecue spicy chicken sandwich. I love every word in that sentence. In any order you just said of them. Any order of that sentence is going to be a winner. This guy. Wendy's got a... Ooh, Wendy's pretzel bun burger. That actually does sound kind of nice. I've heard good things about the Baconator. I've heard Wendy's Baconator, as far as fast food burgers are concerned, I've heard you could do a lot worse than the Wendy's Baconator. Yo, what's up? What's up, Mr. Chuck? Yeah, the Baconator. It says, yo, go for that Baconator, bro. You will not be disappointed. It will change your life. It will make your penis bigger. I'm paraphrasing what Chuck said, but I'm pretty sure that's what he was getting at. Ow. Good to see you, Chuck. Hope you're excited for Sunday. I know I am. From Top Golf with the homies. Do you think there's a bottom golf? I think there's a bottom golf, but it's just dudes being like, very like, oh, I hope the golf ball hits me. That's what I sure hope. Golf ball me, daddy. It's just a bunch of dudes being really weird and like strangely thirsty. Need to hit this underside, right? Oh, yeah. So I gotta hit it, and then get in and out. A quick little in and out, as they say. There we go. Freddy's is good. Freddy's is pretty good. And you know what? Is Freddy's considered fast food? Is it fast casual? I don't know. Freddy's is kind of in between. Like, Steak and Shake is analogous to Freddy's in a lot of ways. And I, in some ways, consider Steak and Shake to not be fast food. But they do have a drive-thru. So in some ways, yeah, that's kind of a weird one. I would say, gun to my head, I would not consider what am I trying to say? Steak and Shake to be fast food. But it begs the question, okay, well then what is considered fast food? What taxonomy is required for an establishment to fulfill that moniker, that definition? And, for a lot of us, the presence of a drive-thru is a big one. But is that the only one? That's where it gets a little bit wobbly. Yeah, he says, that Slim Chickens place is great. That sounds amazing. That sounds really nice. I'm guessing it's a chain near you, Farsight. Maybe like a regional chain, basically. So if you sold me, it sounds great. That's one that's empty. Let's go to this one over here. Well, like smash burgers. Yeah, I'm with you, Aaron. I'm with you. I would say like I enjoy many kinds of burgers, but a smash burger, a really good smash burger, goes a particularly long way. Is Freddy's fast food? Yeah, it's like I could see it. I could see where it could be considered that way. I sneezed and tore my muscle. Oh no, I'm sorry, Chuck. That sounds no fun for you, buddy. Sounds no fun. Hope you at least feel better by Sunday, and or at least able to like not be in pain. Freddy's is fast food itself is a prototypical junk food. I don't know though. I think of Freddy's as being a cut above the rest, because that's where it almost feels like an unfair comparison. I think Freddy's and Steak and Shake generally being higher quality than McDonald's and Burger King. Like to me, it's like it's almost like a degree of quality and like an order of magnitude higher than what McDonald's would ever dream of being capable of. Maybe I'm just waxing poetic because I haven't eaten from Steak and Shake or Freddy's in a long fucking time, but I always felt like their quality was generally better than, yeah, like McDonald's or Burger King or Arby's or McDonald's or Wendy's. Now, is it amazing? Like, no, it's not amazing, but like it's definitely better though. At least I've always thought so. It says they're all over Farsight. Man, I've never heard of this place, but it sounds amazing. I gotta check that out. I'm in Missouri. So MI is, I think, Michigan? Or Minnesota? No, Minnesota is MS, I think. Or is that Mississippi? Anyway, I'm in Missouri. I live in Missouri. I know, I do the joke every time, but it never gets old. To me. It might get old to you guys, but I don't care about entertaining you. I'm trying to entertain myself over here. What am I, some kind of internet entertain person? Sounds kind of cringe, bro. Ow. Ow. I say you need to drop your guard so I can slap that ass. It is ass. I wouldn't say 20. Oh, White Castle. White Castle's okay. Ooh, I don't like that like pixelization that happens. To be honest, I don't love White Castle. What I will say is I like White Castle's non-burger options. I don't love White Castle's burgers. I don't love their burgers. Now, they're great for quantity. Quantity is great for White Castle. You go to a party, you go to like a house party or a fucking kegger or something like that, and you bring a fucking crave case, people will eat your entire, well, they will devour your penis gleefully. You'll be a fucking hero. You show up to a party where there's a bunch of booze with a fucking crave case, because quantity and just sloppy, sweaty, gross fucking junk food, hell yeah, brother. But if you want something that won't fuck up your stomach, for me at least, yeah, I don't know. I don't love the sliders, but I will say I like the chicken rings. I think they've got an alright fish sandwich. Like some of their other offerings are pretty okay. So I don't love White Castle, but they're all right, and I think if I avoid the sliders, I can do all right. Yeah, the sliders, exactly. Stoner food, but a terrible shelf life. Yeah, for sure. 30 minutes or so, it gets pretty rough. Yeah, I wouldn't want them to get room temperature. You'd have to get them. Well, unless you're a little bit inebriated. If you're inebriated, it probably doesn't give a. You probably give a fuck. It's probably not an issue. It's probably not a deal breaker. Getting a crate in college. Oh, they had to get sit out during a LAN party. Oh man, I'm gonna guess a crave crate is a series of crave cases. I'm guessing that's what that entails. I've never heard of a crave crate, but I can put two and two together. Oh no, I was like, I just lost all momentum. Just dropped like a fucking rock. I need to get back up. I think I know what to do, but we need the. I'm just losing all my momentum when I jump. So do I still have the light fella? No, I have the dark fella. I need the light fella again. Which is right here. Convenient. Because their food is like bite size. It won't last 30 minutes, bro. There's a whole bunch of oh, slim chickens. Damn, maybe I've never driven by one, and or rather I've driven by them and they've never registered, or I have never driven by one. I'm in the St. Louis area, so I should do some lookings, because there definitely are some chains that are in Kansas City or Columbia but are not in St. Louis, and of course vice versa. So those kind of more regional chains can sometimes be very region specific. One of my homies went for 28 of them. That's impressive. That is impressive, man. Says I did 38, bro. He says, catch me with that or miss me with that bullshit. I got you, motherfucker. So 100 sliders is a crave crate. And when you're trying to feed a lot of people, that sounds great. And for a LAN party, amazing. That poor bathroom. That poor fucking bathroom. I'm sure that thing saw some fucking sights and some smells. Holy moly. Keep them in the fridge. Not a bad idea. You know, keep them in the fridge for a couple days. Pop them in the oven or microwave if you're desperate, but could do a lot worse. Chuck says, bro, I put away 36 at a competition. He says, bro, I'm a fucking champ at that shit, bro. That is amazing. That's amazing. What was the prize, Mr. Chuck? I'm kind of curious if like you got something cool from that. That is delightfully impressive. Question is, what am I aiming for? We need to get up there, obviously. Oh, I think I might see it. Well, actually, do I see it? Might need to shoot from below, maybe. Might be these two here. Also, I might need to get my wind fella. Hard to cheese it. I don't think cheesing is the answer here. Do I know Future Man? I've never met him. I've like been in the same room as him at like another Twitch community meetup before. So I've seen him before. I've never had a chance to meet him. One of my streamer buddies from way back in the day, he used to do a podcast with Future Man. If you've ever watched Future Man's podcast, I think it's the Retro something podcast. I can't remember what he calls it. I don't know if he still does it, but my buddy Mike, Mad Dog Mike, he did a podcast with him for a little bit there. I don't know if they're still doing it. But no. Oh, here we go. I think it's gonna be this direction most likely. That makes the most sense. But no, I haven't really watched his streams much. I know he's from the area, from the St. Louis area. Actually, maybe not St. Louis specifically. I think he's like from the general area. The wind one. I need to use the wind one to remove that one because it's cock blocking me. Unless I can squeeze by it. Can I squeeze by it? Oh, I can't shoot through the bars. Ah. Yeah, can I squeeze by it? No, I cannot. I cannot squeeze by it. Okay, sounds good, Farsight. Thanks for hanging out, man. And yes, I'll definitely be curious. Slim chickens. I gotta look that up later because I'm curious. Definitely curious. Let's get the wind fella back, and it was over here, I think. The wind fella. That's the dark fella. Where's the wind fella? Down there on the ground floor. 10? He called them 10 whiteys. 10 White Castles. There you go. $4 for 10. Man, what a deal. What a fucking deal, man. It's probably more like $12 for 10 nowadays. Which I guess is like, you know, a pretty good deal, generally speaking. Relative to other deals. Relative to other contemporary opportunities. I could kill an entire Emo's extra large. Actually, I had Emo's for the first time not too long ago. Well, not for the first time in a long time, not too long ago. It was better than I was expecting. Aaron knows I do not mince words when it comes to my distaste for Provel. For Provel cheese, the St. Louis specialty. For any Provel diehards listening in, I apologize. I'm gonna break your heart, but I do not like Provel. Not like Provel cheese. Provolone? No. This is Provel. This is a St. Louis delicacy. And I do mean delicate. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, it's one more. Wait, is it one more up? Wait, hold on. Am I dumb? Do I go another up? I guess, yeah, I think I do go another up. Okay. I was like, wait, where's the thing I'm trying to remove? I can maybe even see it from here. But anyway, yeah, so Provel cheese is a St. Louis delicacy. I don't love it. I do not love it. Am I saying it's bad? I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't like it. But Alex, it melts so well. It does. It does melt well. It melts well. It melts very good. But that is the extent of what I can say about it. Yeah, I do not love the texture. I don't love the taste. I don't love the texture. But, and just so we're clear, for those who don't know, Emo's is a regional chain of pizza. If you've ever heard of St. Louis style pizza, you'd be forgiven if you haven't. If you've never heard of it, you could be forgiven. But if you've heard of St. Louis style pizza and you've heard that some folks who are not from around here, and even some folks who are from around here, don't like it. They say it's fucking garbage. They're correct. No, anyway, it's not for everybody. It is quite controversial. It is quite, what's the word? It's quite divisive. Some folks love it, others detest it. I am the latter. I am the latter. I do not love Emo's. They do not love Provel cheese. However, and I'll also say this much. I'll say it's not from lack of trying. I've tried it on salads. I've tried it on burgers. I've tried it on pizza. I just don't like it. Simple as that. However, I had Emo's for the first time in many a long year, a couple months ago. And you know what? Having Emo's pizza, having Provel cheese on pizza, fresh, from a freshly made pizza, hot out of the oven, it was actually all right. It was actually pretty good. Was it good? I mean, it was okay. It was okay. For one thing, Emo's is kind of expensive. So, like, that was one thing where it's like, damn, I'm paying this much for, like, not a lot of food, really. Like, that was kind of disappointing. But really, that part was, like, it was all right. It was okay. But the problem is, when it was really fresh, it was like, this is actually pretty okay. But you might see where I'm going with this. Once it becomes room temperature, once that plasticky cheese texture settles, the room temperatureness of it makes it kind of fall away a little bit. At least for me. Again, I'm not trying to say it's bad, but for me at least, oh my man, that was it was down to like 1 or 2 less pieces. You know, we're getting ready to wrap up. Like, who wants the last pieces? No one would take one, so it's like, okay, I'll take one. Grab one last slice. Took a bite, and I was like, oh, there it is. There it is. There's that plasticky, like, gross fucking texture that I know and love. And by love, I mean fucking detest. So when it's really, really fresh, Emo's is actually not bad. And that's the one application of Provel that I can actually stand. But that is truly the exception. Truly the exception. Yeah. Yeah, it's like double the price. No, I'm sure, yeah. Yeah, St. Louis style. So it's extremely thin crust and uses something called Provel cheese, which is a local specialty. I would call it a delicacy. Usually you hear the word delicacy to mean that the locals love it, but out-of-towners don't fucking understand. Out-of-towners just don't understand it, and I would say Provel and Emo's counts in that sense, because so many out-of-towners, and even in-towners, such as myself, look at Provel and go, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Get his ass. There we go. Bump, bump, bump. I should have taken the sword with me. It's like I dropped a sword earlier. Is it? Yeah, it's definitely made local. Yeah, it is a local deal through and through. Hometown pride. Or shame for some of us. Shame and or pride. I mean, potato, potato. Get his ass. Yeah, not widely available, exactly. Is it on a cracker? I mean, kinda. It kinda is, yeah. It's a cheese alloy. Yeah, Aaron is right. It is a cheese alloy. And does that make it bad? Not necessarily. Some people love it. Some folks love it. They swear by it. I think most Provel enjoyers and most Emo's pizza enjoyers will tell you. They will acknowledge. Is it disgusting? Yes. It's fucking vile and absolutely gross. But I can't help myself. I love it. That's how I've heard people describe the Provel believers. I've heard them describe it to me as, yes, I know it's gross. I can't help it. It's amazing. It's disgusting and amazing, and I would have it no other way. Because there's a slop factor that you just have to embrace, I think. I think you have to embrace the slop to it. Yeah, it's a cheese alloy. It's like this... It's this manufactured cheese product that is very divisive, and I don't love it. But I have to be careful about it. Whomst I admit my distaste for it. To whomst I admit my distaste. So a good chunk love it, and they even have it delivered. Now that surprises me, I'm surprised that out-of-towners like it, because the majority of out-of-towners that I've talked to, and of course, I'm only just going anecdotally here, but when I think of out-of-towners that I know that have tried it in recent memory, their reactions are not positive. But to your point, though, Chuck, I've heard of people who've like heard about Emo's Pizza, they think it's gross, and then they try it, and sometimes it does change their minds. So the only way to know is to try it, really. Meerkat says it looks awful. It looks rough. Says all cheese is beautiful, and you know, I respect that. I respect that. That's a very positive way to look at it. Very positive way to see it. It says all cheese is beautiful, and no cheese shall be disrespected. And Aaron, you know, I already have an issue with some cheeses, with many cheeses even. So I'm already prone to having a distaste. Oh no. I'm already prone to having a distaste. Wasn't paying attention. Walked right into that guy. A part of that's on me, perhaps. Maybe, okay, so some of the cheeses are frauds. What would be a less than ideal cheese? As I know, there's some cheeses that are kind of divisive. I mean, Provel, I would say, is fucking chaotic. On the alignment chart, Provel is chaotic. I would call it chaotic evil. But definitely a chaotic one for sure. The fraud cheeses. Calcium Marzu. I've never heard of that one. Cheddar on pizza is kind of rough. Yeah, I mean, I know that at some places they do like a multi-cheese blend. I've seen those places that do like a multi-cheese blend for pizza. And that's how I feel, Augusto. I feel like some good mozzarella is all you really need for a good cheese on pizza. Shit looks like Cheese Whiz. I still can't believe that the traditional Philly cheesesteak puts Cheese Whiz on that shit. I still can't believe that shit. A biblically traditional Philly cheesesteak sandwich puts fucking Cheese Whiz on that shit. I can't believe that. I've had a Pennsylvania resident confirm that is the traditional Philly cheesesteak. It's got to get the Cheese Whiz on there, which is mind-boggling. Now, granted, you can go to Philadelphia and get a cheesesteak sandwich that does not have Cheese Whiz on it. But then, according to the hardliners, then it's not a traditional one. It's not a traditional, biblically accurate Philly cheesesteak, which blows my fucking mind. Kasumatsu is it's the chaotic evil. Oh, it's like actually illegal. Well, there you go. Well, there you go, man. Instead, he says it's brutal, man. It is fucking brutal. And cheese shit. Yeah, yeah, some folks swear by it. I am not a fan. Not a fan of the Cheese Whiz. It's actually interesting. Speaking of pizza crimes, this might be deeply offensive to some of you, but I will back it up with geographic significance to it. There is a pizza place. So actually, it's not a pizza place. It's a Italian food place called Pastaria here in St. Louis that Grace and I really like. It's one of our favorite restaurants, and they do a style of pizza that is very, very, very minimal cheese. Very minimal cheese. They serve it to you. It is mostly a couple toppings and, you know, pizza sauce and very minimal cheese. And some of you might Dan's game at that and say, whoa, minimal cheese? What the fuck? Is it a margarita pizza? To be honest, I don't know if a margarita pizza traditionally has minimal cheese. I think there's a couple of them. There's a couple of them on their menu that have minimal cheese on them. Sounds like a pizza margarita. It might be. It might be. But the reason for that, and one of our friends, his family has a very, very prominent Italian heritage. He was saying the reason for that is because in northern Italy, that is typically how pizzas are served. In northern Italy, a traditional pizza typically has very, very minimal cheese because they don't have a lot of cows in northern Italy. They raise goats, they raise sheep and lamb and that kind of stuff. So you would have goat cheese. You know, you would have other kinds of, you know, dairy options, or well, dairy, quote unquote. You know, other kinds of milk options. And goat cheese isn't traditionally done on pizza. So because milk and like dairy products are harder to come by, they would just make do with what they had. So in like northern Italy, that's more how it typically goes, and that's where that style of pizza originates. So there we go. I was like, damn, today I learned. That was pretty cool. I pass that knowledge on to you. Like a pizza margarita. It's no Chuck E. Cheese. I haven't had, well, for obvious reasons, I haven't been to a Chuck E. Cheese in a long time. I've heard their pizza's actually kind of fire. I've heard their pizza is like better than it has any business being. Like a lot of us, we always just kind of assumed, oh, it's probably cheap and garbo, but apparently their pizza's like quite good, like better than any of us expect. I've heard differing accounts that it might be that it's kind of hard to eat at Chuck E. Cheese unless you have kids. I think some Chuck E. Cheese locations straight up limit your ability to dine at their establishment unless you have kids with you. And they like check your ID to see like how old you are, that kind of thing. I don't know if that's for all of them though. That might not be for all of them. Now, I've heard the pizza's really good. I also think during the pandemic, to keep the doors open, they had to get creative. Obviously, they couldn't have customers. They couldn't allow customers in their stores for obvious reasons, in their stores, in their restaurants, because of pandemic restrictions and such. So to keep the lights on, they sold their pizza just on its own without the Chuck E. Cheese experience, and did so. Here we go. I think so. Did so not under the Chuck E. Cheese moniker, because they knew the Chuck E. Cheese moniker doesn't always have like the most positive associations with culinary excellence. So they sold just their pizza alone in like carryout form under a completely different company name as like a shadow. Oh, that's a shame. I try to do a that's one thing that's gotten me a lot in this game. You try to turn on a dime, you can't. So yeah, if I just hold down or hold back, we like do a full turnaround. It's gotten me a couple times, unfortunately. And I thought that was kind of interesting that, yeah, they managed to use that as a way to kind of prop themselves up during the pandemic, and I think it worked. And yeah, a lot of folks realizing after the fact, like, wait, that was Chuck E. Cheese that I ate? What the hell? Because that was actually pretty good. So like how it's kind of, the pendulum is swung the other way. Charles Entertainment Cheese. Charles Entertainment Cheese, that's the full name. Is it cheddar? Charles Entertainment. Oh, fucking hell. I need to be paying attention. God damn it. Gotta go all the way back down again. This whole dungeon is, unfortunately, very well orchestrated and forcing things to go fast. Or not go fast, go slow. The opposite of go fast. Still not enough. I need one more suck. Can I get that suck? I'll get that suck. Gotta get to this guy. Bam. And bam. So I gotta pay attention where I'm walking, because if I don't, I'll end up in that one dude. That one guy that zaps if you get too close. Goat cheese and pizza can be done. Well, I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm saying it can't be done to the same, like, amount as mozzarella typically is. I think, or at least that was what this friend of mine told me. I guess I don't know, because I've never had goat cheese on pizza. But he was saying, like, if you do something like goat cheese on pizza, you can't just slather it on like you can with mozzarella. I think that was kind of the general accepted wisdom at the time. The shit is pizza business, man. Important pizza business. Risk E Rat and his brother Chris. His brother Chris, middle initial P, who voices Mario, of course. Pizza is the business. Yeah, is it like 25 or younger? Something like that. There was some kind of restriction, and I understand why they have that restriction. I get it. But yeah, the downside is that it means that it's kind of artificially limit who can go in and who can't. Especially if you just want to pop in and just get some food. You just get some pizza. But at the same time, I understand. I understand why they try to curtail the clientele and make sure it's a little bit more focused on the main attraction, which is, the party games and the stuff for kids specifically. That's right. That's called a ghost kitchen. Thank you, Agas. That's what it's called. Ghost kitchen. Giant rat fella. Pasquale's. That was it. Thank you, Aaron. Pasquale's is what the ghost kitchen brand was called. For decent pizza. But that's the thing. A lot of us haven't had... what's it called? Chuck E. Cheese in a long time, because all of us are grown ass adults. We really wouldn't have reason to go to Chuck E. Cheese for, obviously. So we really just don't remember, but apparently it's really damn good. Apparently it's really damn good. Been in this puzzle for a long time. I mean, part of this I'm just slow. I'm just a slow piece of shit when I play games like this, when I do puzzles like this. And there's a lot of things to slow you down. There's a lot of speed bumps, or if you fall down, or if the fucking eyeball laser zaps you because you're not paying attention. So part of that's on me. I gotta get one of those chalices to get the blood. Blurds. The blurds and the corpse. Grab one of these guys and go back up. There was that viral post that was on Reddit or something. Here's the other thing too. There was that viral Reddit post that was like, it showed a pizza that was served to somebody, and they were saying, "Hey man, we're at Chuck E. Cheese, and this is the pizza we were just served." And it very much looked, to the naked, discerning eye, it looked like a pizza that was Frankenstein from several other pizzas. Like the slices kind of looked like they didn't quite line up. Like they kind of looked like they were from different shapes and different sizes. So it was the implication of like, oh shit, is Chuck E. Cheese just like, if someone doesn't finish their pizza, you know, like a group of kids doesn't finish their pizza, they take it out back, shuffle the unfinished pieces into an existing pizza to just fill them out and like lower their profit margin, or I guess raise their profit margin. Is that what they're doing? And I think it was officially debunked. I think that was officially debunked. I think like by the time it reached critical mass and it was kind of making the rounds on like mainstream news sites, I think it was proven to be false, that was not what was happening. But the damage had been done. The PR hit had been dealt, and it's hard to come back from that. It's, you know, you can do as much as you can to go on a PR campaign to correct the record and say, no, it was one big misunderstanding. But still, the damage had been wrought. So I think that's part of the other thing. When people think of Chuck E. Cheese, and your knee-jerk reaction might think like, ugh, terrible quality, cheap pizza, awful. It's like, well, that's not necessarily telling the full picture. I'm up here, by the way. Oh, shit. Now, I wonder, do I have to go all the way back down to get the wind thingy? See if I can just approach. If they live west of Delaware, I don't trust their asses. I would try it. I mean, I haven't had it in a long time, but I would definitely go for it. Aleph says it's 100% true. I don't know, man. I mean, I mean, again, I haven't been in a long time, but I think the common understanding is that was a fabrication. They take a strip out of the center if it's too big, and then the slices don't match. Oh, you're saying if it's like if you order a large. Okay, I'll stop talking for a second. Big man.
It's heartening after all these years to hear my name spoken without
There he is. He's alive.
Razia?
Oh no, he's hot.
What have they done to you?
I have been dragged through hell and back.
Let's see what he looks like
To reach this moment.
in the unremastered version.
Now why?
For thousands
Still hot.
of years I have waited alone here. Losing
Really not
faith.
different. Really not that different. Maybe more sunken
At the
cheeks.
time of the binding, 9 guardians were called to serve the pillars, and I was summoned as the 10th guardian, the keeper of the Reaver, the weapon of our salvation. Over time, our race died out, until I alone remained, sustained only by my obligation to you and by my guardianship of the blade.
Inside his chest beats the heart of darkness, which we heard about previously.
Not sustain them.
The hairline?
Don't know. As our race dwindled, the humans prospered.
Better than mine.
I have
I'll say that
watched
much.
over the centuries. As
Better than my
our
hairline.
history faded into myth and finally receded altogether. The humans have forgotten us entirely and claimed the pillars for themselves, wholly ignorant of their true purpose. To them, I am merely a devil, the origin of their vampire plague.
Why would the pillars summon human guardians then, if they are meant to be served by vampires?
The pillars choose their guardians from birth, Raziel, and vampires are no longer born. This is the crux of our dilemma, and this is the terrible irony. With their vampire purge, the members of the Circle have assaulted the very architects of the pillars they are sworn to protect. They have embarked on a treacherous path. With every vampire they kill, the humans are slitting their own throats. They know I'm up here, beyond their reach, and it terrifies them. You can see how they flaunt their kills to torment me, or perhaps simply to lure me out. They have this foolish notion that destroying me will somehow topple our entire bloodline.
Interesting. Look at the cuts on his
Actually, we're not
arm there.
fragile.
The insides of his elbow.
I've seen them mustering their forces in the village.
There's some significance to that.
Yes. I don't know what they're plotting, but I fear our time may be
Scars.
bitterly short.
Mankind seems to have brought you only torment and grief. You must hate them.
They fear what they don't understand, and they despise what they fear. But no, I do not hate them.
Vorador does.
He has suffered much. He cannot forgive them.
Should they be forgiven?
They don't understand what they're doing. They are simply unenlightened and vulnerable to manipulation.
So, it's all true then. What Cain and Vorador have told me. I really am some kind of unholy vampire messiah.
No pressure.
Unholy? No. Messiah, perhaps.
I don't like that word. It smells of martyrdom.
Raziel, your role in this world's destiny is more crucial and more benevolent than you've allowed yourself to believe. Your journey will not be easy. Dark powers are allied against you. But I think you already know this. You appear to have been cruelly tested. The binding must be secured, Raziel. The pillars are the lock.
And the Reaver is the key.
Yes.
The Reaver is here. Why do I feel nothing?
The
There it is.
most formidable weapon ever forged by our swordsmiths. They infused the blade with vampiric energy, empowering the Reaver to drain our enemies of their precious lifeblood.
As Janos presented the blade, an inexplicable sense of dread crept over me, more palpable than anything I'd felt before. I was at once horribly repelled by the sword, and yet irresistibly compelled to touch it, to take it away. Please, take it away from me.
Now we built that path to get us here. Did I just enable the dudes? Did I seal my own fate? That might be us, actually.
You must save yourself, Raziel.
Janos! No!
Is this how Janos gets killed? Or Janos, I guess. Or did we, like, unknowingly... At first I thought it was maybe a paradox, but did we unknowingly create the situation that allowed for his death?
My surroundings whirled sickeningly, and I found myself transported safely away from the ambush to an adjacent chamber.
That's convenient.
Janos had delivered me from the
Okay, there's a soft J.
selflessly forfeiting his own safety to preserve my life.
It'd have been interesting if that was ourselves, the human
My newfound
version of ourselves we saw in the end there.
slaughtered by the very crusaders I had so recently revered. The irony pierced me, and with dawning horror, I realized that I had been duped by Mobius from the beginning. For the Sarafan had simply followed the path I gullibly blazed through this sanctuary.
We set the
and
stage.
arrived bearing Mobius's staff. Thus armed, they had Janos at their mercy. Through the door, I could hear them battling, less than a dozen paces away. But it may as well have been 1,000 miles, for this barrier was sealed by elemental forces I did not possess.
We would have just gotten the whatever the Red Reaver was
They
before.
into the heart of the fire shrine.
Oh, there you go.
I thought
Fire shrine.
perhaps If I could galvanize the forge and imbue the Reaver in time, I might have a slim chance of saving Janos from his grisly fate.
Another dungeon? Getting pretty late. If I want to do another... Well, I might have a choice because we need to save the game, obviously. If I can't leave, I guess we're committing. Okay. So the stage is set. But yeah, just so to kind of comment what Meerkat was saying, so the idea... Correct me if I'm wrong, Meerkat. It sounds like the idea is that you... So, like, they make the pizza regardless? Like, they make the same pizza regardless of what you order. As, like, the base, at least. Like, the base, the same size. So if the idea is, like, you order a large, or whatever their largest is, you get the full pizza, you're good to go. But if you order a small, they can, like, cut a piece out the middle to get the overall size down. Maybe that's the idea behind it. Yeah, because I saw Meerkat's comment. I wonder if that interpretation is correct. If the idea is, like, the pizzas are made fresh, but there's, like, a strip that's removed, and it's because they just make the same size, which seems weird. Seems like a weird way to do it. Just cut the same size out, or make the same size regardless, and cut the piece out. Seems bizarre. So yeah, that is unusual. But I mean, if that's their process, whom's to mind to tell them how to do their job? Yeah, it was the because yeah, they look like a Soprano character. Yes, yeah, he has that like hair helmet thing. Yeah, is this a picture of Paulie and Syl? It's a picture of Paulie and Syl. Yeah. So yeah, Janos definitely has the more specifically the Syl hair, but he's got the wings from Paulie. So the shape of Syl and the hair color of Paulie. So yeah, absolutely, abso-goddamn-lutely, he's got the Sopranos hair going on. Janos does, or did, in the 5 seconds before we got to talk with him before he got killified. So did vampires make the pillars? I think that's the implication, but I don't know how important that is. I think it's more important to note. Okay, so that's the door, right? I think it's more important to note that vampires were behind the pillars' creation, but humans have supplanted them. And because the vampires were all... the guardians for the pillars were born human, but were systematically created or turned into vampires. Presumably because of Mobius's shenanigans. Oh, here you go. Here, there's a save point. Because of Mobius's bullshit. That it has doomed, and that combined with the fact that there's a Seraphan crusade against the vampires, it has like forced this cycle of deterioration that will lead to everyone's undoing. We do have a save point, which is nice. Is Janos kind of like the first Dracula? I think Vorador is probably more considered the first Dracula. I think which is the green guy we saw previously, because he actually means to kill the humans. He's like an actual evil. Or, well, evil is subjective in this case, but evil against the humans specifically. Also, we got Silent. What's up, bud? Good to see you, dude. Hold up. Yeah, Silent was saying, yeah, you guys are playing some Soul Reaver, talking about some Charles Entertainment cheese. There we go, man. Is the pizza actually good? Well, I don't actually know. That's the thing. I like a lot of us, I haven't had their pizza in a long time, but the common understanding, I think, is that their pizza is like surprisingly good. Is it actually good? I think the common wisdom is that it's better than anybody expects it to be. I think that's the general gist. We're not going to beat this dungeon tonight because it's getting pretty late, but I do want to see if I can do some of the dungeon. Because, again, it's getting late, but we can probably do some stuff. We need to wrap up for the night. Because we got a save point right up there, which is nice. Yeah, he's very eloquent. Exactly, yeah. Is this my first time? It is my first time playing this game, yeah. We actually beat the first game, Soul Reaver 1. We beat that one a couple nights ago. We jumped right into the second game, and we're clicking along at a I like to think, a decently good pace right now. And the game is very good. There are aspects of it that are a little bit tricky at times, but on the whole, I generally like it more than I dislike it. So I'm having a good time with it. Oop. Yeah. Come on, baby, light my torch. Yeah, what do they do with it exactly? Yeah. Yeah, that's a wild, Meerkat. Yeah, that's such an odd way of doing it. Oh no, did it extinguish the flame? Extinguish the flame. I hacked it immediately. Who could have foreseen that I would immediately hack it? Shocking. Try that again. Although, I mean, I do see that we eventually will need the the Air Reaver, which we can't reach anyway. You guys gotta get good. Gotta get good. Yeah, we actually, many years ago, and by many years ago, I mean like a year and a half ago, I guess, we actually got a review key, because I stream on a pretty regular basis. I stream on with like a schedule. And, oh, it already ran out? Damn, that was quick. That was weird. Does it go out if you just touch the blood? Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I don't jump is the thing. Let's try that one more time. Oh, it's when. Oh, you know what? It's when he lands. He like kind of has his hands down. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe I need to be very careful about where I'm landing. The landing being kind of a downer is an issue. But anyway, yeah, so we got a review key for this one, which is to say the Remastered collection. You probably have already recognized. We have the original visuals and the newer one. We'll just use the original for a while. But yeah, this is the Remastered version. Man, it really goes out quickly. Holy shit. Okay. Well, let's see what else there is. Probably something else. We eventually need to get to these guys. Eventually need to get to these guys. So I can get some extra flavors on my weapon, on my Reaver. But yeah, so we got the Remastered version for 1 and 2 in review key form from one of the, I think from the game's publisher. And we played through the first one and beat and are in the midst of the second one right now. We also got a review key for Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered, which I've heard is really, really good. So this is all kind of leading up to me eventually playing Remastered, or Defiance Remastered. This one is your personal favorite, yeah. Or the series is your favorite, rather, yeah. Now, this game, I'm enjoying the game. I have my nitpicks. There have been some sequences that were a little bit of a slog. The swamp area was kind of annoying to get through. And just the whole... The part where you go into the future and you have these, like, very, very beefy and hard-to-fight bad guys that are sometimes hard, like, impossible to ignore. And even you have to fight them in the spirit realm as well. Some of those sequences were really, really stressful and not super, super enjoyable in the traditional sense. Check the spirit realm, see if there's anything else I'm missing. Like, I wasn't miserable, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it the way that I've enjoyed other sequences more in this game. So there have been a couple of parts that have been maybe not my favoritist, but on the whole, I'm still enjoying it more than I'm unenjoying it. Get back up, no problemo. Of course, there's a physical conduit here, so I'll go ahead and grab that, I suppose. Maybe I have to throw the thing. We ultimately need to land it here, I bet. Fella's over there, but I definitely can't make that jump. I would need probably the air fella. For this guy, yeah. Make that jump? Nah, it's not that simple. Yeah, Defiance Remastered, I've heard is very good. I've heard Defiance is a solid game. The Remastered one, I've heard is quite neat. Yeah, the combat can be tricky, yeah. I mean, the combat's not terrible. I generally like the combat in this game more than I like the combat in the first game. So in some ways, at least, that is an improvement. Perhaps in many ways. Perhaps. Can I just stay on this platform? No, I cannot. And it's not a timing thing. Yeah, eventually it extinguishes it, right. It does go back down. I don't think it's a matter of throwing it. I really feel like it's a platforming question, but I feel like I keep bungling that first jump. Maybe just don't jump. Maybe I could just step onto it. The minute I jump is where it extinguishes. I can just step onto it naturally. Let's try that. There's a way to land softer. Answer. There's something else going on here. I can throw it. So if need be... Where would I throw it? If I were to throw it anywhere, I'd throw it to that guy. Or not that one. It's actually a little bit beyond. Kind of only barely peeking up. That doesn't feel great as far as what the game probably wants me to do. Is this climbable? Definitely need specifically the wind, the Air Reaver. That's what, like, there's the symbology. Actually, no, I guess that's the sign of... Well, I guess I don't know what the sign of this symbol is. We've seen the symbol before. I think I've seen it on the basins, maybe the fire basins. Yeah, at first I thought maybe that was the sign we needed the Air Reaver specifically. We'll eventually, ultimately need both. Air and light. Obviously, they're both present here. It wouldn't give them to us if they weren't important in some way. What else happens when you light that thing? When you light that fire? Goodness, there's an infinite number of lightable torches. These aren't just like torches. These are Olympic flame torches. Old school and everything. Raises up, and if I jump off this platform, it all goes to heck. Maybe that's the thing. It's like you wait for a bit. Oh, jump up. Yeah, it's like I'm too slow. Yeah, I'm too slow. It wouldn't be a matter of pick it up, light it, and then drop it. That wouldn't make sense, right? If there was some way to keep the flame going longer. And the water. Try to get up as quickly as I can, but I'm just not even close to quick enough. Yeah, it's getting pretty late. Yeah, it's getting pretty late. Thanks for popping in, Ayla. Appreciate you hanging out with us, man. Something else. What else could be? I'm trying to think, like, what other interactions are possible? Guy up there. I'm gonna laugh if it's throw this thing at that guy up there. Oh, okay. Well, now it's okay. What the heck? Yeah, okay, but you have to keep the flame alive, I guess. That was weird. Wonder why it was okay suddenly. Did I do something? What did I do wrong, or what did I do differently there? That wasn't it, obviously. Pop in during Defiance Remastered. Yeah, we'll probably play that in a couple days, most likely. Frax says, you got it, then I didn't get it, yeah. Frax, am I just a dumbass, or is this like is this just kind of finicky? Because I don't know what I did differently, but apparently I'm doing something. Keeps going up, and eventually you get overtaken. Right, that makes sense. But it seemed like... I just make it from here. Well, I think the idea is I have to bring it with me. I think I have to bring it with me, or at least allow myself to get the light fella first. Don't touch the blood. Don't touch it at all. Maybe had I not touched it previously? Oh, so okay, so that's the idea. If you touch the blood at all. Oh, okay. I feel like maybe I just never realized it. Also, it's weird because I wonder if my keyboard's acting up or something like that. I feel like there's times where I'll press the spacebar when I'm holding something, and it won't bring the glide out. Like I'll try to jump in midair. There, it's working. Yeah, so you saw me like jump from this guy and just fell like a rock. Yeah, so I definitely can hold this and glide at the same time. So the fact that it kept not working made me wonder if maybe that's not allowed. Like if I'm not allowed to glide while the torch is lit. But that wouldn't make sense. So I can definitely do it here. If I need to use a different... something else, yeah. There we go. So go fast. Yes, there it is. That really is all there is to it. Way overthinking it. Let's see. Oop, there we go. Get this one up. And that lowers those guys. Perfect, perfect. Thank you, Frax. There you go. Yeah, so not touching the blood was the key. I guess maybe that's what threw me. I figured, well, as long as the blood doesn't get too high, it's probably fine. As long as the blood doesn't touch the torch, but if it touches me at all, it immediately extinguishes the torch, which seems like bullshit. I think that seems a little silly. It's kind of arbitrary to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It touched you in the slightest bit, the torch is extinguified. Get good, idiot. That seems a little bit on the silly side. Now, part 2 of the puzzle. I'm assuming part 2. Oh, I thought something would happen. Because I need to get over there. Maybe I start from over there? I definitely can't reach that guy. What I can do is I can still get the light fella. Not that one. Does he need the air first? Well, I would definitely like the air fella. Don't know where it went though. Jam that in there, but I won't do shit. Light that up first, see if that does something. Down there. Now I can get the goods. Now we're good. Now we have to go through this whole sequence again. But with the air fella equipped. And that will make all the difference in the world. Hopefully. Or the blood will fill back up on its own, which is convenient. Not too bad, not too bad. Thus it's fairly short, yeah. As long as you figure out at some point that, yes, that touching the blood in the slightest bit extinguishes the torch entirely. Even if it's only getting your little tippy toes, it still extinguishes the torch. I like how that opens up all these guys. Using one opens all of them up. That will help us get, presumably, to the final, maybe not final, but to the third torch area. One foist. Yeah, there it was again. I pressed space in the midair. Maybe it's like if you jump and you try to initiate the glide too late into a jump, maybe that's where it gets thrown off. Maybe it's like you have to use initiate that glide ability. Yeah, there it is. There was again. So you have to use it at the apex of the jump, or else it doesn't count. I've never noticed it not working while just typing generally, but yeah, it's like there's some weirdness going on a little bit. Thing up as high as we can go. In fact, I might not have to hold the right-click thing or the kind of hover option. Stay in one place. I can probably just hold forward. Puzzle's not too bad. Yeah, now that we've kind of figured out that touching the blood is the main issue. At all, touching the blood is the main issue. I think that has enabled us to go forth and prosper here. I'll say this much, that part was a little bit annoying, but it was less annoying by a huge margin than the whole thing where when we were trying to figure out how to activate the gems in that previous area to get to Janos. And the kicker was, oh yeah, when you shoot the light projectiles, it actually goes through the gems. Goes through it. I was like, that boggles my goddamn mind. I cannot believe it. Cannot believe it, but it's true. We tried it once and it worked, lo and behold. Compared. It was confirmation. See a crystal over here. I saw, at first I thought maybe this was where I would stick an air thing here, but no, it is not. Oh, never mind, that was not a crystal, that's just a save point. In fact, I wonder if this is is this gonna be the whole dungeon? Because this might actually be a short-ass dungeon. That is assuming I, this thing beat. This one puzzle beat. If it's a one puzzle dungeon, maybe that's what Frax meant. It's not just a short puzzle, but the whole ass dungeon It's pretty short. Although I guess in all fairness, you could make the argument that one part of the dungeon was the... That thing's so close. One part of the dungeon, or the first part of it, I suppose, was the one where we were trying to gain access to Janos' area. Ooh, excuse me. What's up, Will? It's extremely accurate. Not to brag, but I am kind of a knowledgeable dude when it comes to being short. Kind of my whole ass personality. Yeah, the whole dungeon is pretty short. Now, will it eventually go up on its own, is the question? Do I have to activate that shit? As for better or for worse, let's find out. Oh, this probably won't flip back up on its own, will it? Nope. Hey, look how the torch is still lit. Wait, why is the torch still lit? It shouldn't be. Might have to do some toggleifications of some things. The crystal, I guess it's behind me. Nope, no, I want to turn around. Above me. Right there. There we go. There was like side areas as well, weren't there? The ones in the side, but I need wind to be able to reach it, and that is the wind fella. I wonder if I fucked up by getting rid of the wind. You only need to fly? Yeah, it's like, I wonder if I fucked myself by getting rid of the wind one. Now I need to regain the wind one somehow. How did I do that the first time? There was a thing where I was able to get back to there, maybe. Yeah, there's not pedestal isn't. Yeah, that pedestal isn't really wide enough to reach. Let's see what else is back there. I wonder if I can just reach it from here. There was a ped. Oh, what the fuck! It did it again, man. Well, I guess it's not an issue. I can swim to it. Except I'm looking the wrong way. Fuck up, yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if if like my keyboard shit out or something like that. The spacebar on my keyboard or something. Not trying to make excuses, but it's bizarre that like I keep initiating the glide and it just will not work now sometimes. But only really in this room. I don't know if I've had this problem as much before. And I've never noticed it while typing, but I guess when I'm typing the inputs are less specific. Less timing specific. Yes, there's that platform over yonder. That one right there. Can I just reach that guy? From here, maybe? Oh, these are still active. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so the question is... Oh, wait. Wonder if I can just... shoot the light, grab the torch, and just try to make all that happen. Because it's not going to reach right here. Yeah, it kind of sputters out. Right. The wind can't reach. I think I see what's going on here. So after you shoot... Yeah, I think I see what you mean, Frax. I thought I had to reactivate them. That's why I was concerned about getting the Fire Reaver. I thought I had to reactivate these fellers. But I don't think I do. I don't think I do at all. I think the idea is I grab one of these guys. Light that shit up. Shoot this guy. Oh! Don't think that's a huge issue. Yeah, you can't shoot while you're holding something. And start flying. 'Cause that'll carry me. Yeah, I think I see it. I think I see it. Woo. And there is a timer. In the sense that the blood will come back up pretty soon. Ooh, am I gonna grab the ledge? Okay. Go around the blood. Because if I touch the blood at all, it'll get extinguified. And I'm guessing the ultimate goal is to jam the Flamussy And to this guy. Is that gonna do it? There we go. Yeah, they stay activated. I thought I had to reactivate them when they get submerged, because they were kind of sputtering like they looked earlier. But I see exactly what you mean. So that was a fire templar. I guess forge is a better term. A fire forge. The fourth form of the Soul Reaver is a Fire Reaver. But I just met her. Yes. For the betterment of burninating the countryside, ideally. Take a look. It's in a book. Flame on! Yeah, well, we had the Fire Reaver last time, but it was like... I don't know if it was quite the same thing. For one thing, it didn't glow with a red hue. It's more of an orange hue. Yeah, Fire Reaver 2.0. Captain Reaver!
I plunged the Reaver into that furnace.
It's still pretty orange looking, so it looked a lot like the first one. Like how it looked in the first game.
I was now armed to unlock the elemental barrier and rescue Janos from his executioners.
But will he be too late? I suspect he will be. But we're gonna try it. Oh, health increasification. Also do a quick save. Now it is getting pretty late. Do I wanna leave this as a cliffhanger? It's hard to say when we'll get the next save point, so I think I actually will end the stream here. So this will be the cliffhanger then. What's gonna be happening behind that door? What's gonna be happening behind that door? And it's all going down. If I needed to, I could re-up the flame if I felt so inclined. That door right there. What's it all mean? What's it all mean? Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here for the night, because it is quite late. It is quite late. We did a lot of cool stuff, made a lot of good progress. And, of course, knocked out this temple here. I don't, to be honest, I don't know if I've seen any other basins. We've seen this sign, the bottom left. We've seen that sign on the basins. We, of course, have seen the dark basins, the light basins, and the wind basins. And this fourth one we've seen before. Maybe there's only 4 in the game. Maybe there's only 4 in the game. There's only 5 more minutes. To the game as a whole? Are we at the doorstep of finishing the game? No way. Or do you mean like 5 minutes of cutscenes? If we got like 5 minutes of cutscenes, then yeah, I think we'll just do it next time. We'll pick it up next time. Parsa says, fuck it, wee ball. If it's 5 more minutes of like the game, to which I say, oh, come on, ain't no way that's like all in the game. So, there's at least one area I can think of that had one of these fire basins that seemed significant. It was like a floor area. It had like one of those little like that same kind of spiral pattern, like kind of like flame pattern with the 3 tendrils. It was in like a little floor area. Rex says, who knows? I assume there's more than 5 minutes to the game as a whole. I assume there's, if it's 5 minutes, like if we're like about to beat this thing, then I say fuck it, we ball. But yeah, I'm gonna assume we have some time left. It'd be extremely funny if we end it here and we pick it up next time, and then we just, we beat the game within the first 10 minutes of the stream opening, then I'm like, oh, well, now what do I do? But no, I think we're probably safe to go ahead and save it and call it for now. You think the next one will be the last, though? That I'm inclined to believe. Because I can't think of any other like symbols or sigils that we've seen to indicate that there are more Soul Reaver flavors. I was thinking maybe there'd be like the traditional dark, light, earth, wind, fire, and water. I expected 6. Or maybe instead of water, maybe ice. So it's odd, maybe a little bit interesting that, that they have wind and fire instead of fire and ice, or earth and wind. So it seems like an interesting pairing. Also, I like Frax's correction. He says, whoa. I mean, last stream of Soul Reaver 2. He says your last stream will be your last, Alex. Cocks gun with malicious intent. Loads shotgun with malicious intent. Your last stream will be your next one will be your last, Alex. No, no. It means we're gonna be beating this game next time. And I think you're probably right. If there's no more, like Soul Reaver like dungeons, basically. If I had to guess, there's probably like one last dungeon, kind of like how it was in Soul Reaver 1, where the last dungeon was not to get a new ability, and it was not to get something to unlock a particular path. It was just to reach Cain for the final confrontation. Now the question is, who's going to be the final boss battle for this one? We've kind of surmised that Cain isn't necessarily the big bad in this game. He's not exactly an ally, but he's not necessarily our main target. The real malefactor behind the curtain with all this is probably Mobius. If I had to guess, he's probably who the final boss is going to be. But we'll see. We'll see. It's kind of hard to guess where things are going. I do appreciate that kind of reveal we just had, where unbeknownst to us, we've kind of fallen for a Mobius's trap kind of from the get-go. That this whole thing was orchestrated to ensure that we would lead the Seraphim to Janos, so they would guarantee his death, which we've seen. We've seen said death in Ascendance, Legacy of Kain Ascendance, and we were one of the, I guess, even human Raziel. We were human Raziel specifically in that fight against Janos Audron and Legacy of Kain Ascendance. And Mobius was there in that fight. Mobius was there with his staff to weaken vampire kind. Yeah. Yeah, there might be when have I ever gotten distracted? When do distractions ever happen in my streams? That never happens. Never happens. Never happens. But yeah, we got the final dungeon on the approach. And yeah, I appreciate how that story kind of unfolded. That was a cool reveal and an interesting way to kind of bring things full circle with how and not just full circle, but also emphasizing Mobius's ability to weave all of our fates into what he wants to have happened. Now, whether or not we can successfully divert the threads of fate in a way, at least away from what he wants, can we divert it in a way that is good necessarily? Well, I don't know, but can we at least make sure that Mobius doesn't win? We'll see. We'll see. I'm sure we got plenty more to see as far as story stuff is concerned, but the fact we only have one dungeon left and probably a decent bit of cutscenes and narrative stuff, we shall find out. We shall find out soon, my friends. But this was good. This was a good time. We had like I said, nice. We wrapped up the final elemental dungeon at least, and had some pretty cool story revelations. I wonder if we're gonna get maybe more from Vorador this time around, because of course Janos did mention that Vorador is one who he truly has an extra grind against humans. You know, he's got his own thing going on, obviously. So yeah, I wonder like what other interactions will remain before we get to the end. But no, this is very interesting stuff, and thank you again to Frax for helping my ass out as I bumble with a couple of things, and especially the two big ones earlier where I was getting myself lost in that little canyon area, and when you told me that the light projectiles that we fire from our from the Soul Reaver when we're trying to hit those gems, it actually penetrates through the gems, and it can hit 2 in a row if you got the right arc. Like, that was so fucking huge. That was so fucking huge, and was such a time, maybe not time saver, but like a time rescuer. Like, I would have potentially gone, I don't know if I would have ever figured that out. I think after a certain point I would have broken down and looked it up out of frustration. Not sure if there's more Vorador. Yeah, and that makes sense, because I could see him being more of a significant character in Blood Omen. I could see Blood Omen being a bigger deal for sure. Or maybe not a bigger deal, but a bigger deal for him specifically. So I could see that. But no, this was good. Thank you again, friends, for hanging out with us. And Frax, special thanks to you for helping me out, but also for still letting me fuck around and fuck around and find out, as it were. Letting me experiment, letting me try things, and not backseating super hard. I really appreciate your consideration. We were just talking with another streamer buddy who rated us the other night, and she shared a clip with us that showed her like kind of like faux raging out against backseaters, not actually being truly angry, but just kind of making fun of those who were backseating real hard when she was playing Persona 4. And it's like, yeah, I get that when like it feels like a bit much. So Frax, you're a very considerate and very generous individual. I really appreciate you, man.